Hello. It is Tuesday, March 19th, and we have a heater of an episode for you. We talk about St. Patty's Day.
Yep.
We had a great one. We talked to Dan Dakich. Love him or hate him. What he says in the interview with us today about March Madness is magical.
Yes, it is.
Fill out your brackets with that knowledge in hand, and I think you could become a very wealthy person. Actually, we don't know what the gift is going to be if you join our bracket, which is if you look on the ESPN brackets and search.
Yep, search hashtag McAfee for MNF.
FOR.
FOR.
Spell it out.
Come join us. Winner will receive something awesome. We don't know what it is yet, but something awesome. Come join us. We can't wait for March Madness, and we also can't wait for you to hear the conversation we had with Mike Florio. Inside football talk that I don't think many people are diving into.
No way.
Presenting sponsor of today's show is the greatest ticket buying app in the country.
Nice.
Greatest.
The best.
Not just the country. Planet Earth.
Planet Earth.
Whole planet.
Earth.
Have you seen... Oh, I saw a new show. Afterlife. Ricky Gervais.
Nope, I've seen it on there. Almost watched it last night.
One of the most simple TV shows I've ever seen in my entire life. Incredible.
Really? I can't wait.
Big fan, yeah.
Sam cried 5-6 times.
Wow.
Really?
Wait,
5-6 times Sam cried.
tearjerker.
Did you
Wow.
It's
I don't
funny,
wanna cry.
tearjerker. It's everything Ricky Gervais.
Okay.
It's
with his father? I mean, jeez.
very good.
Yeah.
Spoiler.
Very, very good. We watched it
Okay.
this weekend. Sam cried 5-6 times.
Nice.
Afterlife, though,
Okay.
made me think of an outer body experience, which is what you experience when you shop at SeatGeek.
Absolutely. Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Right now, there's March Madness happening. There's NHL, which we get into later in the show for some reason. There's NBA games. There's comedy. There's theater. There's so much happening in your world, and you just need to go experience it. And there's only one place to go if you want to experience something live, and that's your friends at SeatGeek, because they scan all the other ticket buying platforms, make sure you're getting the most bang for your buck. The best ticket to an event is the best ticket you can get at SeatGeek for the best price because you're the best person for it. Use promo code PAT. Get $10 off your first purchase.
Nice.
Good stuff.
That's good. It's a good
Somebody
deal.
sent me a message that they went to a Pacer game. And it was a top of the bowl ticket.
Oh, okay.
Cost $7. It was their first time using SeatGeek. They got that ticket for free. Went in there, experienced the game, had a great time, had a night, tell stories about it with their friends for free because
That's
they
what
say
it's all about. Right
that's what it's
there.
free.
Wow.
And even if you're not getting a ticket for free, you're getting it for $10 cheaper when you use promo code PAT at SeatGeek. You're alive, but are you living? Go live and experience something live. Ladies and gentlemen, March Madness Magical Conversation with Dan Dakich. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us now is a man who was a head coach in college basketball at numerous places, including Bowling Green, WVU for a day and a half, Indiana, and now you can hear his voice on the airways here in Indiana every single day. It's must-hear radio. He also calls games for ESPN. Just yesterday, during the college bracket breakdown, they had him sitting at a round table where the camera was shooting him from behind, showing his bald spot in an incredibly rude way. Ladies and gentlemen, a must-follow on Twitter and a basketball genius, Dan Dakich.
Yeah, I have a rule. Blur the front. Blur the front.
Hey.
Nothing from behind.
Hey, why did
Nothing from behind.
they do that to you, though? It was a round table. Everybody else had a full head of hair. They could have shot you from any angle. They chose you to be the one with your back to a camera. Diggs walked in this morning and said, man, they didn't do Dakich any favors yesterday on ESPN. How do you feel about that?
Well, I feel like he's a baldist.
I'm just aware of the situation because I'm developing a similar situation.
Yeah, he's in the same spot.
Look, this isn't a bald spot. This is a bald head. I just swooshed the front a little bit, lacquer it down. In fact, I just got doing it. It's going away. The minute this basketball season's over, I'm coming home.
Wow.
And I'm coming home. I'm going to do it for charity.
Hey.
And, but, you know, it is. I tell them I do. Nothing from behind. Let's go. And they screwed me. That's all.
All right, breaking news. Dakich is doing away with the comb over. He's going to be a bald man next year. That's incredible. Nice bald head. It means you're smarter. You're going to be joining Jay Billis. Speaking of Jay Billis in college basketball, this is what you're on for. This is the Super Bowl for college basketball. The bracket came out yesterday. What was the most surprising thing about the way the bracket was put together in your eyes? Whether it was somebody who wasn't in, where somebody was placed, all that shit.
I don't, whoever didn't get in didn't deserve to get in. Michigan State beat Michigan 3 times, and Michigan State plays the number 1 seed if they get to the Elite Eight. Didn't seem real fair to me, whereas Michigan, who had Michigan State beat 3 times, gets the worst number 1 seed if they get that far. But here's the deal. I mean, let's just every year on every network, somebody bitches about who's in, who's out. I don't care who's in, who's out. Every year on whatever network, somebody bitches about, well, this team shouldn't be here. Personally, I don't care. Here's what I know. Thursday, my fat ass is going to be sitting around watching a ton of hoops all day. Friday, my fat ass is going to be sitting around watching a ton of hoops all day. Maybe when I get bald, I'll be smart enough to be my friend Seth Greenberg and my friend Jay Billis and have all the answers. I got no answers. I just watch and I like. That's all. That's all I do.
Hey, you've been going after Indiana a bit. You led a charge there late in the day before the bracket came out that Indiana has a chance to get into the tournament. You're a voice of Indiana. You were played at Indiana. You were an interim coach at Indiana. You're like, listen, IU might have a shot at getting in here. Then it turns out they're one of the first 4 teams out. You then went on to, I don't want to say destroy them, but you kind of did. What is the state of Indiana basketball? And as an alumni of that place, do you kind of take it personally to see the team fail?
Oh, I take it. Look, all right, you went to West Virginia. You love West Virginia. You were at West Virginia 4 years. I was at Indiana 17 years. This is where I grew up, 18 to 34 before I left. Basically, it's in my fiber, Indiana basketball. And I don't know if I destroyed them. I just basically said, look, I don't want to hear about you not getting in. You lost 12 or 13, and you still had a chance to get in, which is remarkable in this day and age. I mean, the NCAA, you're not supposed to lose 12 or 13 games and then get in the tournament, for crying out loud. Look, Indiana has, from the time Coach Knight left, actually from a little bit before Coach Knight left in 2000, they've tried to, I'm not going to say devalue basketball, but they wanted to distance themselves from anything that, I'm not going to say we did. Yeah, I am. Us as former players and former coaches were about. They didn't ever wanted to go back to the days of Bobby Knight, which is cool, which is fine. But it's been 19 years, and really right now, Indiana went from being one of the true powers where they stood for something, or at least people knew what you were going to get when you played Indiana, to just another team. And this isn't talking, I'm not speaking out of my backside. I told Fred Glass that when he made the last hire. And I like Archie Miller. But I did tell him, I go, look, there used to be a culture here based on, and I hope Archie brings the culture back, but right now Indiana's just another school, and it drives me bat blank crazy.
Well, I can understand that. I live in Indiana, obviously, full-time. This place would love for the Hoosiers to be great at basketball again. I think that would be great for everybody, including yourself. Okay, so what's about to happen is Dan Dakich is about to give us a bunch of inside information.
Let's go.
Yep.
Okay? This conversation's a good one. I know you agree listening at home.
Correct.
Another place for great inside information is where Todd McComas gets all of his scoops.
Yep.
It's one place and one place alone. That's the Action Network. ActionNetwork.com/Pat/ we've talked about this. It looks as if the slash is leaning forward.
Right.
Backslash is when it's cholo. Lean back. Lean back. Lean back. Lean back.
Fat Joe.
I said, don't dance, it's poor pants, do rock away. Lean back. Lean back.
Where my tear squad at?
Lean back.
So that's a backslash. This is a /. ActionNetwork.com/Pat. And there's a contest where people can win $1,000 competing against me in some tournament prop contests.
Let's go.
That's a lot of dollars.
Compete against me, the rest of the crew here, in a March Madness contest for free. It's going to be incredible. It's a prop contest. You play for free, and you could win $1,000 in cash prizes. Be a couple prop questions. You just have to answer them. Probably take you less than 2 minutes to answer it, and you could potentially win $1,000. You got a big big brain.
Yeah.
Dakich is about to make your brain even bigger in the basketball world. You go to actionnetwork.com/Pat and come try to win $1,000 cash prize from your friends at Action Network, where you can also study lines, study money, and have an informed bet when you gamble on these March Madness magical moments.
Absolutely. Be a smarter gambler.
All right, let's get to the bracket a little bit. Yesterday, I watched the bracket breakdown. I think CBS...
Hold on a second. Hold on. May I, just for a moment?
Yeah, man.
May I give a little history here between you and me with the bracket?
Yep, you can. You can.
A few years ago, I did your bracket. What'd you win? A trip to Vegas?
That is an accurate.
Was it Xavier?
That is an accurate assessment. Yeah, you told me that Xavier was going to be a bracket buster.
Yep.
I got one of the first picks in the bracket buster thing with Bud Light when I was at Barstool. Xavier was the only team that made it to the Sweet 16 or the Elite 8, and it's all because of Mr. Dan Dakich. I got a free trip to Las Vegas. That is true.
Let me ask you a question. The hell did I get?
I think I gave you a shout out a couple times. I was like, hey, it's because almost bald Dakich told me. I think I gave you a couple shout outs.
Hey, what'd that shout out pay? What'd that pay for me? Didn't even buy me a Bud freaking Light. A shout out. Shout out my ass. All right, man.
Hey, people
You're
pay.
in Vegas. You're at the New York.
Ew.
Doing your thing with whatever you do and whoever you do it with.
Yeah.
And what am I doing? I'm in a snowstorm in Indiana, looking at you, watching your Instagram. Going, geez.
I give it. People pay good money for their shout-outs, Dan. It's a business. Foxy, please. A lot of people pay good money for their a lot of money for their shout-outs. Okay, let's get to this bracket. And there's no Vegas trip to be won, but there is a potential. Every place offers you like $1 million or $1 billion if you have a perfect bracket, which I think your brain is going to help us do. The 12 seed, I guess, is 16-24 in the first round over the last couple years. Everybody's saying Oregon's the team this year to beat Wisconsin. That's a big 12 seed to make the play. Do you agree with that or not?
I kind of do. I think that Oregon is playing really well, and they've got this kid, and I can't remember his name as I'm talking to you, but he's a big old freak athlete. And if you can guard Wisconsin one-on-one, this Ethan Happ, you got a real shot. Of the 5-12 games, I would say that Oregon is probably the most a sleeper team that I don't know how many brackets you fill out, but if you want to get a little sexy, New Mexico State is a 12 place. Pat, usually you play 7-8 guys. They play 13 guys. The coach is a great coach. He's in the middle of nowhere. They play Auburn, who is hit or miss. I'll go, if you want me to do this, I'll go with the fives. Murray State's an interesting team. Murray State could beat Marquette. Marquette's best player has a bad wrist. Murray State has a kid who's going to be one of the top 5 picks in the draft, a guy named John Morant. Mississippi State and Liberty, I assume that'll be close as well. Liberty's won like 28 games. Mississippi State was good for a while. But if I were going to say, okay, give me a 5-12, I'd say Oregon and Wisconsin because they can guard the big guy Happ.
Is anybody going to be able to touch Duke?
Man, yes. North Carolina, if North Carolina can get there. North Carolina's, beat them twice, obviously, without Zion. And
that's a whole different ball game, though, right? Isn't it? When Zion's not in the game, now, granted, they still have 3 of the top 5 picks or whatever on that team, but when Zion's on the court, it's just a complete different animal. It's like LeBron back in the day. Whenever LeBron was playing, he was coming over to Pennsylvania from his St. Mary's playing Pennsylvania All-Stars, and these little white kids were just getting dunked on in Pennsylvania when LeBron was in high school. It feels like that whenever Zion's on the court with these college kids. It's a whole different ball game. Do you not agree with that?
Oh, yeah. Hey, man. I mean, I don't like that kid. I love it. I did his first game back against Syracuse at the ACC tournament. Swear to God, it was electric. Yeah, it's a totally different game. So for me to say, North Carolina State beat him without Zion, it's like saying the most handsome man at the Dakich family reunion. It just doesn't mean but North Carolina did, and they were right there to beat them again. I mean, with Zion Williamson, the other. That's really the only team that I see. UVA lost to them without Zion. Michigan State's playing great. They might meet in a regional final. In fact, I think they will meet in a regional final, and Michigan State will give them a game, but I don't know if they have enough. Kentucky has a shot. Kentucky, big, strong up front. but they're not going to get past North Carolina. But it's Duke's tournament with Zion playing the way he's playing.
Is he the first college basketball player you've seen that has been universally liked by everybody? It seems like everybody loves Zion. It's like everybody hates Duke. Like, that's a standard. Nobody likes the yuppies from Duke. They're a bunch of snobs. Everybody hates Duke. Anytime they get on TV, I hate them. Everybody wants. This year, it's been a complete different animal. Everybody likes Zion because he's just a game changer. Am I accurate with that assessment, even with you TV people?
100%. Like, I'm good with Duke either way, but I love that kid. That kid plays hard. That kid, like, he dives in the middle of piles. Hey, look, so many guys now go to the NBA combine. Here's what happens in college basketball, if you got a minute. Guys go to the NBA combine, after their freshman or sophomore year. They say they're going to the NBA. The NBA tells them, look, you're not good enough. You got to work on this. There are probably 3 or 4 guys off the top of my head, maybe more, I'm sure, that play for the NBA when they come back to their college season. There are a lot of guys that play AAU basketball, and AAU basketball, you play for Adidas or you play for Nike. And you get caught up in that, and you become a McDonald's All-American, and then you get to college, and you don't know who the hell you're playing for. Am I a shoe guy? Am I playing for a shoe company? Or am I playing for my college team? Then there's dudes like Zion Williams who just say, to hell with this. I'm playing for my guys, and I'm playing for my team, and we're going to go bust it harder than anybody. That's a team dude. So you got NBA guy, you got guy playing for a shoe company, you got shoe guy, and you got team guy. And Zion Williamson, man, is going to make more money in shoes. He's going to make more money in the NBA than anybody out there in college basketball, but he's the toughest, hardest playing dude in college basketball. I'm telling you, I'm walking around here. I'm getting a little excited talking. I'm starting to sweat walking around my hotel room right here. That feels so good.
Hey, it feels like a little bit of a man crush because you are a hard guy to win over. You're an old school guy, a traditional guy. You would think somebody who is at all the hype of the modern age would be a millennial hype machine, would be somebody that you would hate. But that is a credit to how hard Zion works on the court.
Oh, the dude plays so hard, and he's so much fun, and he does it every day. And I swear to God, I was sitting with a bunch of Syracuse people. Sean McDonough, who was my broadcast partner, got us into a suite with Syracuse people to watch his game against Syracuse, and we're sitting there, and the entire crowd, including Syracuse people, were kind of on the edge of their seat when Zion had the ball, when Zion was running the floor. I'm telling you, the dude, McAfee, you got more money than God. You need to take all your boys right there, pay for them to go out to the regional, watch Zion Williamson play, do all the crazy stuff that you do after, and thank me later and say, damn, that was a great experience. It's weird. It's the only guy in my life in college basketball I've ever said that about.
Do you think he and R.J. Barrett are going to hate each other in the end?
Seems like that's the route it goes, right? Like, you know what I mean?
I was watching that game. I was watching that game the other day, and R.J. Barrett was getting hot or whatever. But all the announcers or commentators were saying, like, they got to start getting the ball to Zion. They got to start feeding the ball to Zion. R.J. was the number one guy coming out, right? Because nobody thought Zion could do what he did to those high school kids in college. Now that's turned out to be completely false. Zion's going to be the first pick of the draft. We all know that. R.J. Barrett's going to be chasing Zion's legacy forever, and he was the number one guy coming out. I'll be excited to see if they hate each other or not in 10 years, or if they're friends, like Carmelo and LeBron and Dwayne Wade and all them.
Yeah, but they never played together other than the Olympics. Boys, I kneel at your wisdom. That's a pro move right there. That's pro conversation right there. I do. I genuflect, man, because that's deep thinking pro stuff. The whole I'm mad at you, you're making more than me. We played together, we were good friends. Now it's all about you, not me. That's some deep ish right there, McAfee. I like it.
Hey, especially in the social media brand world that we live in, man. R.J. Barrett, I would assume R.J. Barrett himself loves Zion right now. They're friends with each other. They go to work together. They laugh together and stuff like that. But there's members of the R.J. Barrett team, I assume, that aren't the most excited about how this whole season has turned out, and I'll be excited to see if they creep in. With that being said, Duke's going to win this entire thing. Who's your Final Four? Have you filled out a bracket yet?
Yeah, and I hate I'm like most Big Ten fans. I hate Dakich right now.
Who do you got?
I do, because I got all chalk. I got Duke, Gonzaga, UNC, and Virginia. I got Purdue making a little run, getting past Old Dominion and Villanova. And then I got beaten Tennessee as well. That's kind of a revenge game from a year ago, but I don't think they can beat Virginia. I got Kentucky making a run, Texas Tech making a run to get to the Sweet 16. But I got Gonzaga, Duke, Virginia, and North Carolina.
All right.
But my bracket sucks. Other than helping you, I've never helped anybody in my life, and I lose $5 to my mother every year.
But hold on. And why didn't you feel good about helping me instead of just feeling like envious? Why don't we feel good about helping out the world and sending a friend to Vegas for a free trip because of your big brain?
No, there's too much bitterness in there.
RJ Barrett looking motherfucker.
I saw you. I know the hijinks that goes on with Mac. And you know what I'm doing? I'm sitting at my house dodging a hawk while you're out there doing your thing. So, no, there's too much pent-up resentment for your success in that one a couple years ago.
All right. There's a little segment we do called The Room Wants to Know. I'll go around the room. The boys want to ask you a question. First one comes from Tom McComas. Die Hard Hoosier fan.
Yeah, I have a question for you directly about Archie Miller. You touched on it a little bit earlier. Are you out on Archie Miller? Or are you going to sit and give him time? Because so far, I'm not too happy. Just saying. I feel like it's a young team.
One more year, man. I think you got one more year until people, as they say with NWA, the spot's getting hot. I do.
I get it. I get it. And he'll fully have his kids then or whatever people are saying. But am I wrong in notice? This is what I notice, and this is what I'm hanging my hat on, is he seems to let this young team get very deep in the weeds before he'll call a timeout and make an adjustment. Is that by design, or is that just bad coaching?
Oh, basketball talk.
That's a great question because a lot of coaches have different philosophies. Like if you're, I don't know if you remember 1987 when Keith Smart hits a shot, right, to win national championship.
Yes.
I used to tell Coach Knight, you say, well, you never call a timeout. That's an example of why. And I'm like, yeah. So I used to tell him that's the shot we wanted, right? Our third best shooter falling out of bounds to win a national championship game. That's the one we wanted, there, champ. And then you would tell me, "Shut the hell up, Dakich," and you go do something else. But anyway,
strangle you.
That's an interesting thing because I've kind of felt that too. My bigger problem with the way Indiana goes about their business is I don't know what they are. Like I don't know, are you a defensive team? What's your identity? You know what I mean? Like Purdue, they're going to get better. They're going to be tough. Duke's going to play it up and down. Kentucky's sort of. Indiana always had an identity. I don't know what the identity is. Now, that's not fair to Archie. He's 2 years in. That's why I say, get another year. But here's the problem. You're losing Romeo Langford, who's going to be an NBA draft choice, and you're losing your best post guy. So work's cut out. Tough job. But I've been all over their ass. So, you know what? I just want to see them play hard all the time, and they didn't do it.
Attaboy. Great question, Todd. Next one's from Diggs, who's a degenerate. I'm assuming this is going to be a gambling question.
Slightly. Dan, I got some higher-seeded teams that I'm intrigued in, and I want to see who you think might go the farthest. So I got Wofford, Buffalo, New Mexico State, and Nevada. Do you have any thoughts on any of those teams that you think that might be able to make a run?
Eliminate Wofford from your brain. Just eliminate it. That's media hype. Here's the deal. Every good team they've played, they've had their brains beat out. I mean, they're a nice team. They got a good shooter. They might, play well enough to play it down the stretch. Eliminate them. Buffalo's interesting to me. I watched them play the other day. They are crazy. Like, they sprint and run and kick and drive, and that can go well unless you start missing shots. I'm taking Buffalo to win their first-round game, whether it's Arizona State or St. John's, but I'm taking them to lose the second round. Nevada, I really like. Nevada's going to beat Florida. Nevada's one of those teams, I think, that kind of lived off of lived off of last year, didn't really give a rat's during the regular season. Now they're going to turn it on. But I think they're going to lose in the second round to Michigan because John Beilein never loses in the NCAA tournament. And that's a dumb reason, but I like them. Who's the other team?
New Mexico State. You talked about them earlier. You thought they might win one game.
Oh, man. I wish they didn't play Auburn. I wish New Mexico State, as a 12 seed, I wish they played Wisconsin or Oregon, in that game, or Oregon or Wisconsin. I did beat Wisconsin. I wish like hell they didn't play Auburn because Bruce Pearl and his crew, they can be really good, but they can be really bad. If you take New Mexico State to beat Auburn, people are going to call you nuts, and then you might get the genius tag at the end of the
day. Hey, I partied with Bruce Pearl one time down there in Tennessee. Where it was like a couple months after that boat picture surfaced with him. He's a good time.
He can lay it down, right?
Bruce Pearl is a good time. I hope he does well. I'd like to see him celebrate. Next question is from a guy named Nick. Loves hockey. Not sure what this question is going to be about.
Dan, great leading by Pat there. I'm obviously a hockey guy. I know nothing about basketball, so I need your help here. I need one pick from the great Dan Dakich off the cuff here. One
Guaranteed.
upset.
We need one lock.
One upset that's going to make me look really good. One first-round upset. What is it?
I'll tell you this: I took Vegas last night, and they won 6-3 in hockey. So there you go.
Hey, Vegas Golden Knight fans in the building.
One lock in terms. Now, you want to do this with the spread?
Yeah.
I'll take Duke beating North Carolina Central. How's that? I think they're going to win that one.
Perfect.
Money line, hammer it.
Hey, as long as you're making money, you ain't going broke.
That's right.
I'll give you one that's going to be close in the line. And, in fact, Nevada might not even be favored, and they might be an underdog. But if that line is anywhere underneath 3, 4, whatever it is, I'd take Nevada over Florida. Here's the deal. I really believe – I think Nevada is just one of those teams. Florida's not very good. They got on a little bit of a run. But I would take Nevada if we're talking about one of those games that, obviously I'd take Virginia over Gardner-Webb or, that. But I'd take Nevada beating Florida. That should be a fairly decent money line. Or, excuse me, that should be a fairly decent spread.
Attaboy. Next question is from Gorms. Gorms, what's up?
Coach, I want your opinion on Kelvin Sampson and the Houston Cougars. 2 losses all year. Can they make a run?
They got 3 losses because they lost yesterday, and there's no doubt they can make a run. Houston and Georgia State. I don't know if you remember Georgia State, but Ron Hunter used to live in Indy. He fell off a chair when he had a broken leg, and it was a big deal.
His son was a shooter, right?
Yeah, his son was really good. Hey, the legendary graduate assistant Andrew Dakich of Ohio State, they play Iowa State. He says they're going to win and meet up with Houston, and there is no way that Ohio State can beat Houston, in my humble opinion. I've got Houston getting to the Sweet 16 and losing to Kentucky, but I'll say this. When I watch Houston play, damn. Like, holy damn. Mm-hmm. They got guys that can shoot. They got athletes on the perimeter that can guard, but I don't think they can play with Kentucky, but I do have them going to the Sweet 16.
Let's go, Dan. Hey, Dan, you're on fire right now. I want to let you know we're going to keep it going. This guy's from Chicago, very dumb, named Zito.
Mr. Dakich, what's your favorite Mr. Knight story? Bob Knight.
I got a bunch, but I love when he cut or what did he do? He cussed out / kicked Damon Bailey, Alan Henderson, and Pat Graham, 3 players off of our team, and he was buck naked when he did it. Maybe I've told you that story on the show. I don't know, but he came out of the shower. He told me to go get these 3 kids, and he's buck naked, and he's screaming and he's yelling, and he's got a towel, and he's shammying the undercarriage with the towel while he's screaming at these guys. And Bailey, who I don't know if you remember the name Damon Bailey, but he's one of the all-time greatest dudes ever. He just starts laughing and he's getting kicked off the team because we lost the game. He's the worst player in the history of basketball, blah, 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 blah. But Bailey can't stop laughing because here's Bob Knight. Things are swinging around and buck-ass naked with a towel, screaming at the top of his – now, when I say everything's turning red, I mean everything.
All right. How long were they kicked off the team for? About a day?
Oh, no. We went to practice. Everything was good.
Next guy's from Boston. He's loud. Connor, what's up?
Hey, Dan, do we have any players this year like Steph Curry who are really going to make a name for themselves in the tournament, maybe turn into somebody in the NBA?
Zion.
Yeah, there's a kid, and I'm going to screw his name up. It's like Uno from Yale. Now, you're not going to believe that, but Yale has a real chance to beat LSU because Yale can shoot it, and this kid is not a mystery to NBA guys. He originally committed to Williams College, and then his parents are like, damn, if we're going to pay $60,000 to go to Williams College, we might as well pay $60,000 to go to freaking Yale. Right? So this Yale is really good. Like they make baskets. Like they score it, and this kid scores it. And if Yale can get by LSU, it's going to be because of this kid whose name, honest to God, it's like UNO is his last name. I may have that a little bit wrong, But he's going to be a guy that people know because if they get by LSU, they got a real shot to beat Maryland.
Hey, LSU's coach is in some hot water right now due to saying he paid kids' parents. Is that just everywhere?
I don't think it's everywhere. There's 352 teams, and there's a few, but my man, I think, is caught on a wiretap.
Yeah.
In a federal investigation. Like, to me, there's a saying with the FBI. If they knock on your door, they already know. You know what I mean?
Yep.
My man is in trouble if he's on a wire. But you got to give him credit. He is standing firm. He is blaming others. He is saying, hey, nobody.
Hey, you got to... Ari Gold said it best. You got to deny till you die, my friend. Deny till you die.
Right.
This next
I wasn't there. I didn't know what he's talking about.
Is that my voice? I don't even think that's my voice. This next guy is a huge Michigan State fan. He's a little bit upset that they ended up in the Duke thing because he actually, I think I heard him saying earlier today, thinks that the committee fucked up Michigan and Michigan State and they just switched them.
Yeah, they just mixed up the names.
But he has a question. His name's Evan.
Yeah, Dan, the Big Ten hasn't got it done since 2000. Do you think there's any reason for that, or is it just a bad luck?
Man, that's a great question. The reason for that, I don't think there's not, like, when you look at different leagues, right, they got a lot of teams that get to the Final Four. When you look at Michigan, Wisconsin, and Michigan State over the years really have been it. I guess Indiana went in 2002. That's a really good question. They got all the resources. They got the fan bases. There's a great recruiting area. But I don't really have an answer for that. I want to say bad luck, I suppose. Hey, and to your other point, I'm with you, but here's what they told me. Like, I was going to bitch last night on these shows about Michigan and Michigan State.
Right.
And then one of the guys that ran the tournament for a long time said, look, Dan, you really don't go into who's going to play who in the Elite Eight. You really don't. I said, well, if you don't go into who's going to play who in the Elite Eight, then why the hell do you have seeding? I mean, just play let Vegas do it, play the best games, and let's go.
Dan, you're too smart.
I think they did what you said. I think they screwed it up. You cannot tell me that a team in Michigan State that beat another team in Michigan 3 times doesn't deserve a better seed. I don't care if it's the first round or I don't care if it's the damn Elite Eight. They deserve a better seed when you're talking about 3 wins. So I'm with you. I think Michigan State got jobbed in that.
I read somewhere on the internet, so it has to be true, that the way they do that is the highest ranked 2 seed, they do it geographically so they don't have to travel as far. And they just so happen to fall right into Zion's fucking bracket.
Sucks for them.
And Michigan State's going all the way to D.C. still. That's pretty far.
Yeah, bro, we still got we got better planes than we had back in the 80s, though. This ain't that big of a deal. We got
whoa. Hey, true story. You know those planes that got grounded? That's affecting the NCAA tournament, apparently. Not because they use those planes, but because the next plane, it's like next man up, so that's going to affect it. So Michigan State really got screwed.
Geographically, though, they're in a better spot. Geographically.
We'll be all right.
Last question comes from an Iowa fan, Ty Schmidt.
Dan, Iowa, wildly inconsistent, very tough to watch. Just curious why you think that is, and also what are your thoughts on Fran McCaffery?
Oh, man, there's nothing better than Fran Con when he gets hot, man. It's the best. When my man gets hot, it's a show in itself. I love the guy. We've had our spats. We had a little to-do a few years ago over a kid named Woodbury. He ripped me. I ripped him. But I love him. I mean, I love talking to him before games. I love talking to his wife. Everybody, they're great. So I love the man. Iowa, man, to me, you talk about a team that can make a run because in the tournament you got to be able to shoot the basketball. These dudes can shoot from 5 spots. But here's the deal, and this is the way it seems to me. Every time they get into a big spot, they get their ass beat. So I'm sitting there going, how do you trust? How do you trust them? I want to. Because, as I said, I love Fran. Bohannon is a bad man. They're playing a Cincinnati team that is almost the opposite of them. They got one kid in Cumberland that can really shoot it. And, oh, by the way, if you're in some kind of player scoring average pool or whatever a lot of people get into, take Jaron Cumberland, because if he plays 1 game, he's going to have 30. If he plays 2 games in the term, he's going to have 60. And you see where I'm going here. If he has 3 games, he's going to have 90.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Hey,
not bad.
Yeah.
They're playing. Hey, they're playing their polar opposite in Cincinnati. So here's the deal: if they make a bunch of threes, they'll win the game. But they ain't out tough in Cincinnati.
Right.
Hey, so that's a mental thing then if they can't make shots in big games. So maybe they win the first game, they'll lose the second one then due to expectations being too high. Normally you can judge people like
That's what I'm
that.
thinking.
The first one's a badass game though. Cincinnati just won their championship, beat Houston, held Houston to like 53, and they have the Mafia Don. Mick Cronin, who I swear to God looks like he's Sammy the Bull Gravano, and it's going to be that's going to be tough for Iowa. When I saw that for Iowa, I thought to myself, man, that's a bad matchup.
All right, well, Dan, I appreciate you so much. Did you piss anybody off this year?
Oh yeah, I got a bunch of folks in Indiana hot at me. I got Michigan State. They tried. They weren't very enthusiastic about it. They chanted, "We hate Dakich," chanting the crowd.
They weren't very enthusiastic.
I think anytime you can get 12,000 people to chant that they hate you, I think you're doing something right.
The perfect heel commentator, coach, player, a man that loves college hoops. Can't wait to sit his bald fat ass and watch him. I can't wait to see if his predictions come true. Ladies and gentlemen, you can follow him on Twitter at Dan Dakich. You can listen to him 1070 The Fan, ESPN, 10 to 3. Is that it? Or noon to 3?
Yeah, 10 to 3. That's too much work, man. 2 to 3. Shorten it up. Let's go.
Hey, that black suit looked good the other day. I think I tweeted about it a couple times. The all black looked good. You look like Johnny Cash.
I know. I figured a guy like you that respects fashion the way you do would appreciate that look. I do. Man. Hey, by the way, the Boston Garden is still not in Hartford.
Hey, man, I was on some vitamins. You get it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Dan Dakich.
Yeah. Thank you. See you guys. I got to go to work.
Hey, you were incredible. Thank you, Dan.
Anytime, brother. Anytime. You know that.
All right.
See you guys.
See ya. Dakich is good.
He knows
He
what he's
is
talking
good.
about.
I like
He
him
knows.
a lot.
People hate him.
I don't get it.
He's a heel.
Yeah.
He is.
He plays the heel role. I think he wants. I mean, he literally bragged about 12,000 people strong with not enough enthusiasm, saying they hate him.
Yeah, I was there.
Which, by the way, if you're a heel in wrestling, sports entertainment, that is what you're looking for. You're looking for a place to either hate you or love you. And Dakich is one that I love, but I understand why people hate him too.
I think you got to respect him though, because he shits on everyone equally. He's not choosing favorites. Like he gives everyone the business.
That's what I love. He calls it for what it is, man. And people are so touchy about their schools. That's where they hate.
Well, there's a lot of pride, which I
yeah.
respect. I respect a lot. But Dan also, we can't discount his knowledge for basketball. Been in the game a long time, college basketball a long time. His ass ain't never going pro, so he didn't care about pro ever. So he was a big college basketball fan when he was a kid, when he played, coached, now.
Made Jordan look stupid.
Shut him down.
Yeah, he did.
Kept him under 10.
Jordan still owes him money, he says.
What else is new?
To get in those big old deep pockets, those giant pants he's always wearing.
He's a billionaire. He can wear whatever he wants. By the way, if I become a billionaire from selling shoes, I'm going to wear some big-ass pockets.
You won't wear those pants. Have you seen those things?
Nah, I won't. You're right. I have a little fashion forwardness in me. Yeah. I'm one step ahead.
Yeah.
People have been saying that a long time. Look for the peg jeans, by the way, to hit the entire country. 6 months.
Coming
Next
back.
fall. Next
I can
fall.
see it.
I think the peg jeans will start happening. Cuffs up has always been in play, where you just roll the cuffs up.
Yep.
I think the peg jeans are coming next fall. Just a little insider scoop in the fashion world.
Yeah,
That'll
You
be-
do a fashion show.
It's a
I'm
jean
in.
jogger.
Haven't been around since mid 80s. So
Has
that's
it?
a long way back.
By the way, I'm having a little bit of issue with the right peg. It seems to be coming off at a much larger rate. And I think it's because the right leg moves a little bit
Yeah,
more.
probably.
So
That makes sense.
it gets motion sick.
We need
The
to-
peg gets
we need
motion
to,
sick and it
We need to
unpegs.
invent like a clip.
So I guess back in the 80s, you guys used to do something. There used to be like you could put rubber.
Absolutely.
I think you put rubber gum bands in there.
Yeah,
Rubber bands.
some
Whatever
people
would,
used to.
whatever would do, but I had a nice tuck. I had tuck, flap over tuck, so it was good.
And a
Always
roll?
yeah, and a little roll on it, so they just
So that's
stayed
what I do.
locked in.
I do tuck roll. You're saying I should do 2 tucks.
Yeah, I always bought bigger. I mean, well, I got hand-me-downs too, so they were longer. So I just got bigger. Lock them in.
He talked about Bob Knight being naked in there.
Yeah, that's
Pretty
hilarious.
wild.
It's a wild story.
Yeah,
Hilarious.
Damon Bailey laughing at him. I don't know.
Damon Bailey coaches Butler girls basketball.
Oh, a little fun fact.
I didn't know that.
Oh, fun fact for everybody.
Fact.
Nice.
The fact that nobody else knew that kind of worries me. Might be
I
wrong.
don't follow Butler women's basketball that closely.
So I did a shoot at Hinkle Fieldhouse with the NFL Network, and it was me, MJD, Ike
Taylor.
Taylor, and Damon Bailey, and we played basketball in Hinkle Fieldhouse, and he was there, and I think he was there because he was a coach of the Butler women's team.
He was an assistant coach, recently resigned.
Okay.
Did great.
I'll give you half
You
a
ain't
point.
gonna beat him in a shooting contest.
Beg to differ. I was feeding him the rock because I heard the stories of Damon Bailey. It was me and him versus MJD and Ike Taylor 2-on-2, and I was just feeding. By the way, I'm pretty silky when I start getting loose with my passes. I enjoy a nice setup. I was setting up Damon Bailey on a very regular basis.
Was he onions? Just every time.
They were not falling.
No, really.
He was passing them back to me at one point. I'm like, no. The reason why I sent it your way, big guy. He was very nice, though. Like a gentleman. Funny. Very funny. But his jumper wasn't where it was.
Huh.
He's passing me the ball a lot. Stop passing me
Well,
the ball.
he knew he didn't have it that day.
He's probably used to a women's ball at this point.
That could be an issue.
That is a game changer.
Yeah, he's
Ruined his
practicing
game.
with that
The
every
weight
day.
differential there.
Oh, yeah.
Because
Yeah.
Big difference.
Size, too.
28.5.
Cylinder's bigger.
So why am I blaming him? You know who I am blaming in this whole thing?
Who's that?
Bob Knight felt comfortable whenever he was buck naked, yelling at those guys. But you can feel as if you're naked while wearing underwear, and there's only one company that can make you feel that way.
Oh, yeah?
Are you tired of your underwear riding up or riding down?
Yes.
How about the junk in the trunk or down there in the middle?
It's the worst stuff.
How about whenever it gets a little moist down there?
Oh, don't even.
What if I told you that there was a moisture wicking underwear that doesn't ride up, is wedgie proof, and doesn't ride down?
I'd say you were a liar.
Well, take those nasty words, Diggs, and shove them right up your ass and have your ass covered by Tommy John underwear. Tommy John underwear is a new moisture wicking underwear that combines the best fabrics with the best sizes to make sure that your kit and caboodle feel the best they've ever felt in your entire life. Tommy John went to town whenever they were searching for the proper fabrics to make the perfect underwear. They
really did.
Isn't that right?
They really did.
They searched far and wide. 2 guys did it. And they said, what are we going to do? We're going to create the greatest underwear of all time.
Oh, yeah.
What's the first thing you put on and last thing you take off?
Underwear.
Never think about it, though. You always buy that shithole all cotton underwear.
Yeah.
What does it do? It rides up.
That don't wick.
Traps moisture.
Traps moisture.
Yep.
But you might as well have a rear naked choke on your kitten.
You might as well. Yeah.
Might as well.
Your balls out there
Just
trying to
adju-
tap out.
Just adjusting all day long.
Tommy John, though, changes the game. I wear nothing but Tommy John. Everybody in here wears the Tommy John because it's so damn delightful for your midsection. TommyJohn.com/Pat for 20% off your first order right now.
Damn.
I tell you, this will change your life. Tommy John also has undershirts. They have a lot of things. They're taking care of your body because you take care of you, especially when you go to TommyJohn.com/Pat.
Exactly.
Nailed it.
TommyJohn.com/Pat. Home run. Really
Home run.
read. Home run read there. Really a home run read. It's the truth, though.
Got their money's worth.
I think they did.
For sure.
Good for Tommy John. Good for us, by the way, for wearing Tommy John.
Yeah. Yep.
It's the best.
It's not a
Nothing
lie.
else.
Thank you, TJ.
I'm not going to wear anything else.
Not a lie.
I call him TJ. It's my guy.
Because you and they're so tight.
Tommy John. No, I'm tight with the company, but boy, these briefs are nice and tight too.
Yeah. They keep you
Oh yeah,
the whole,
well everything right there,
every,
every bit.
because salsa dip is for your chips.
Yeah, not your bits.
Don't forget. Ladies and gentlemen, Mike Florio. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us now is a man who's got a massive brain. He's from the state of West Virginia. He used to be a lawyer, then he decided to take his talents to the internet. His blog has been sold twice, once to ESPN, then he rebooted and sold it to NBC. A trailblazer in the internet, a trailblazer in the football world, a man who knows everything about everything until he gets questioned by somebody, which happened yesterday, kicking off a new segment called Internet Beef. Mike Florio, Pro Football Talk. What's up, Mike?
Pat, it's always great to talk to you. And let me just say this. I have been doing radio spots for the last 18 years, and your show is the only one where, first of all, I make the call. Everybody else calls me, but because I love you, I call you. And when I dial the number, I don't get hello, I don't get please hold. All I hear is, I don't even hear a ring. All I hear is, ladies and gentlemen. I love it.
I'm going to be honest, Mike. I don't know if we can call you and record it. I don't know. I don't think we understand the tech side of that. Let's dive right into it. You got into a hilarious altercation with a Stanford grad, Richard Sherman, on the internet over a potential beef in the NFLPA agent meeting with CBA conversation. Can you elaborate a little bit and why Richard Sherman was wrong and you were right?
Yeah, let me keep it as simple as possible.
Thank you.
And let me just say this. I believe that there is no one currently in the media that covers the NFL that advocates more for player rights and player interests than I do.
I agree.
I'm the only one. I stand out in the street and say they should get rid of the draft, that players coming out of college should be able to pick their first team, and folks lose their mind. But I've converted many people to believe that that is the fair thing to do, that it's unfair to tell a guy where you're going to go play. They should be allowed to pick where they're going to go just like they pick which college they go to. But anyway, that's just one example of a way that I'm always very sensitive to the rights of the players.
Agreed.
I caught wind of a memo that summarized a meeting that happened last Monday between roughly 60 players and a handful of agents. And the players brought the agents in because apparently the players wanted input from the agents on how to prepare for the expiration of the current labor deal coming up in less than 2 years. Is there going to be a lockout? Is there going to be a strike, et cetera? And it got contentious. And the memo created by the NFL Players Association made it clear that it got heated, it got contentious, and at times it got ugly. And the memo expresses a very strong degree of concern about some of the things that some of the agents said. So I got the memo. I wrote a story yesterday about what is reflected in the memo that was prepared by the union, not by the agents, not by anybody else, but by the union. And Richard Sherman, who's a member of the union's executive committee, immediately took issue. He took issue so fast, I don't even think he read my story. So I said, hey, I guess I have to post the whole memo in order to let people decide whether or not it was a contentious meeting. And then it all went downhill or uphill from there, and he kept taking shots at me all day long. And some of the things he said were just untrue, but it's impossible to, shouting into that vacuum, that void of Twitter, convince people that you're right and someone else is wrong. But the bottom line is, he shouldn't be fighting with me, and he definitely shouldn't be fighting with me on an issue on which I am factually correct. And if I was wrong, I'd say so. So, yeah, that was my Sunday. That was my nice, relaxing, like Sunday. It's like, hey, this is going to be a nice, relaxing day, right? Get a refuel, recharge before we do PFT Live for 5 days. And I got to travel a couple of times this week. We're going to Arizona next weekend for the league meetings. Like, this is a nice day where things will just kind of slow down, but nope.
I love that as soon as Richard Sherman responded to you, like his followers who didn't even read anything you said were saying that, Florio got buried. I'm like, I don't think so. I don't think Florio did. What is the big deal right now? So why would they call the agents in for the CBA? So let me get this straight. The CBA is up in 2 years. Everybody knows that. Whenever it was renegotiated in 2010, everybody knew that there's going to be another one of these in 10 years. We're just staring down the what is it called? The barrel of the gun, where everybody knows this is coming in 10 years. The NFLPA has been run by the same guy for that entire time. I won't say anything bad about him. I don't think he's great at his job. I saw him at a Super Bowl. He wore 3 different suits in one day. I saw him at 3 different events. I don't love the guy. I think he's a little bit too flashy for his job. They bring in agents, and agents, there's a lot of good agents. I think there's some good agents, but there's a lot of bad agents too, and I'd assume that some of them were in there as well. What was the entire meeting about? What were the agents telling players? What was that whole thing about?
Well, here's what I think led to the meeting. After the last CBA was done, there was plenty of criticism of DeMaurice Smith, the NFLPA executive director, by agents. They weren't happy with the deal that was done. They weren't happy that they didn't have a seat at the table. And I have been pushing back against some of them for years, saying, look, when you have one hand tied behind your back, when you have a group of players who will never miss a game check, and you're going against a group of owners who will shut the league down for a full season and are ready to do it, you have a disadvantage. And you do the best deal you can in light of the fact that your players refuse to miss 1 week, much less 1 year of game checks. So he did the best deal he could given those circumstances. So I think that acrimony has been bubbling for 8 years. You throw on top of it the fact that the union's executive committee has both Richard Sherman and Russell Okung on it now, both of whom negotiated their own contracts, both of whom are trying to advocate to other players that they don't need agents, both of whom are making a mistake by both representing themselves and telling others to do the same. You throw that together, and there's a lot of resentment between Sherman, Okung, and the agents over the criticism that both of those guys received for doing their own deals because they both did bad deals. Okung's second deal was a lot better, but his first deal was a disaster. Sherman's deal last year was a disaster. So that is all bubbling up. That's all there, and they bring these agents in because I think basically what they want to be able to say to the agents, okay, fine, wise guys, tell us what we should do. You get a seat at the table now. You fix this. You tell us what we need to do. And that attitude, I think, permeated it, especially early in the meeting when things got contentious and things got heated. And let me give you an example. The players want to get rid of the franchise tag. So my understanding is one of the agents who was at this meeting said, all right, you want to get rid of the franchise tag, play 18 games. And the players lost their minds. It's like, well, but that's the kind of concession you have to make in collective bargaining
in business
to get management to give up something big. They're not giving up the franchise tag without something big in return. And that may not even be big enough. 18 games may not be big enough because the franchise tag allows them to keep guys off the market and hold the overall price for every position down because the best players never get to go set the bar as high as they can. And so I just think there's a lot of hostility that's been pent up, and they need to work it out, and they need to get on the same page, or the owners are going to win again.
The owners are going to win regardless. I mean, Jeff Saturday had to go in there and negotiate that goddamn thing, and it was obvious what by the end of it. I think it's interesting, though, that the business relationship between the NFLPA and the owners is a real one. I mean, you have to be, they're business partners, right? Can't have one without the other. But it's never been treated that way. The NFLPA is always ready to go to war with the NFL, and I assume the NFL is always ready to go to war with the NFLPA. And it got to the point where, now granted, I probably should have joined the NFLPA committee, whatever, and had my voice be heard. Instead, I just skipped the meetings and didn't sign up for it because I was sick of their bullshit. But I was literally one of the only players that didn't sign up for the fucking union my last couple of years because I was just sick of the bullshit. But I think in a negotiation, you have to give up something to get something in return. And it seems like on both sides, both the NFL and the NFLPA, there's no real business conversations. Like, I think a 17-game schedule is better, but you add a bye week. So now you got 18 weeks of football, add another bye week. Now we're both winning on the back end. To get rid of a preseason game, only have 3 preseason games. Only 2 of them matter. The third one is the fourth. Add one more game, add a bye week. Now we're all getting into the pot together, shaking hands. But that type of thing never happens because they're like, well, if we do that, then the NFL is going to want to cut our paychecks by an 18. It's like, how do you know that? How do you even know that if that's ever been addressed? I feel like there's no real negotiation between the NFLPA and the NFL. I don't know if that's accurate. I feel like you know more than I do.
Well, here's the thing, Pat. I think that negotiation that happens within the confines of formal bargaining, the foundation for that is laid by conversations that are had off the grid, right? Back channel discussions. And I think when Gene Upshaw was running the NFLPA and Paul Tagliabue was the commissioner of the NFL, they had those back channel discussions to kind of engineer things toward where they needed to be. You don't have that now. There's not a relationship of trust and mutual respect between Roger Goodell and DeMaurice Smith, which makes it hard to have everything kind of arranged ahead of time. Not that the deal gets done ahead of time, but you've got an understanding of what the issues are going to be. You have an understanding of how you're going to work through the issues. There isn't enough of that. I don't think there's any of that. And that's one thing that I think the union needs to realize. They can use the agents as a way to be kind of like the emissary to talk to certain people from management, because the agents, good agents know everybody. They know owners. They know people in the league office. They know GMs. They know executives. They know people who are in the room with the management council negotiating these deals. And if you get the right agents involved, they can be the ones who create the back channel. If DeMaurice Smith can't create the back channel, trust some agents who you believe can do it, and that's how you figure out ahead of time what it's going to take. Instead of everybody getting in the room with what they want and the wheels spinning and nothing getting done. And the reason, Pat, that and you tell me if I'm wrong. Right. I mean, anytime there's a labor contract and a union involvement and the contract expires, the owners can either lock out the players until the player or the employees in any setting. The owners can lock out the employees until the employees accept the terms of the new contract, or the employees can go on strike. Either way, you have to have both sides willing to take a work stoppage in order to have the best possible deal to avoid a work stoppage. The problem here is the owners will take a work stoppage and the players won't. And until the players will, it's going to be impossible to get the best possible deal. But the players won't take a work stoppage. And at this point, the only way the owners are going to believe it is if they do it, and they do it for at least half of a season, if not a full season. But how do you tell a kid who's 23, who's got no money saved, he just got drafted, that he's not going to make any money at all this year? Or what about the guy who signed the big contract the year before the work stoppage, and now he can't make his mortgage payments? And now he can't pay this and pay that. His money's going to be gone for a year. So it's very difficult to do, and that's where the imbalance is, and that's why, there are some people who don't like the deal that the union did. Well, if you're not willing to take a work stoppage, you're not going to get the best possible deal.
See, I might be wrong here, but the last time this was going to happen in 2010, I was 23 years old, by the way, and they had told us literally since as soon as I got into the NFL, prepare for a work stoppage. Like, you need to be saving money for a work stoppage. It's going to come in 2010. It's going to happen. We all know it's going to happen. We just don't know how long for. I was prepared and ready to go. I had spent all my money from my first year traveling, but that second year I collected. I had a good time with it. I love the work stoppage. I think everybody, I think if you were to poll every vet that has ever played in the NFL during that work stoppage, they're like, yeah, fuck, every year we wish that would happen where we don't have to come back to a training camp, have all OTAs off and everything like that. It's a lot more difficult, though, for the rookies who are just getting drafted that can't go to work. They're not even allowed to talk. They have no money. They just kind of have to sit around. I think a lot more guys are prepared for a work stoppage than you would think, but there's obviously going to be some outliers who are ready to go broke at any given moment if they don't get a paycheck. I'll be excited to see how it is. This is just the NFL, by the way. Once again, dominating the news cycle here, 2 years away from a potential work stoppage. Now a conversation is becoming around it. The NFL has a beautiful way of doing that. What is some of the big news stories right now in the NFL that we should be looking forward to break? I mean, we had the first round of free agents go through. Everybody knows AB and the Steelers drama is done. Everybody knows Lev Bell is going to go to the Jets. I think we found that out as soon as Ballard basically said, we're out. Everybody knew he was going to the Jets. The Browns now are the AFC North favorites. What is something else that's going to come from the NFL, you think, in the next couple of days to try to steal some shine from March Madness?
Well, two things to keep an eye on. First, it just popped today that the Bengals have released linebacker Vontaze Burfict, and a year ago there was a thought that maybe the Raiders would try to trade for him because Paul Gunther, who was the Bengals defensive coordinator, is now the defensive coordinator under John Gruden. But let me tell you, it would be awkward but also fascinating to have Vontaze Burfict and Antonio Brown on the same team after all the stuff that went down between the two of them.
They both hate Juju.
What's that?
They both hate Juju.
Well, now you know what? Maybe they can find. That's a good point. The enemy, my enemy is my friend. Maybe that's where they should go. Vontaze Burfict to the Raiders. He and Antonio Brown get together and have their "We Hate Juju" meeting, and that may be the way to go. I could see the Browns doing it because Vontaze Burfict's relationship with the Steelers, but that one's going to be interesting to see where he lands. Also, I don't know if you saw this, Pat. It happened on Friday afternoon. Report in the Kansas City Star that Tyreek Hill, one of the most dangerous players in the entire NFL, under investigation for possible child abuse. He's got that ugly history, the incident where he pleaded guilty to assaulting his then-pregnant girlfriend. He didn't get suspended by the league because it happened before he got drafted. But under the personal conduct policy, if you get in trouble when you're in the league, things you did before you got to the league can cause the NFL to bump up the punishment. And also, if the victim of any type of domestic violence is a child, the NFL can bump up the punishment. And if it turns out that he did what he's being investigated, and it's if right now, there's no proof that anything happened that we know about, but we know based upon a Kansas City Star report that he is being investigated. If there's any proof, if it is determined that he did something like that, then I don't know what the NFL is going to do, but it's something to keep an eye on because, with investigations like this, sometimes they can move quickly, and sometimes we may know sooner rather than later whether or not he's going to be in any kind of trouble. But he hasn't been arrested or charged yet, but that's something that I've been keeping an eye on around the clock for the last 3 days.
Would you call the police station and ask for information?
No, because they're not going to give me any. There's going to be reports that are out there, and the public information that's available is very sketchy. I think at this point you just wait for the powers that be to decide whether or not they're going to charge him. Now, the big J's in Kansas City may be snooping around and talking to people from the police department, and they've got the relationships already. I wouldn't even know who to call there to try to get background information or anything like that. And I'm always nervous about something like that. You know, one thing that I learned practicing law before I got into this business, there are certain hot spots where if you make one wrong move, you can get sued. This is the kind of thing where if you start reporting things that aren't accurate, that aren't true, that paint somebody in a negative light, that they did something that violates the law, you're in a legal jackpot, and I'm content to wait for the folks in Kansas City to get to the bottom of it, or for the authorities there to make an announcement. So we just sit back and we wait, and then once it comes out, then we react to it and try to break it down and analyze it for everyone.
We're talking about one of the most explosive players to ever come into the NFL, ever. Not just current, not just any. One of the most explosive players to ever come into the NFL. Seemed like he had righted his wrong from college. He made a young, dumb mistake whenever he was in college. I assume that is the way they're painting it. He's becoming a reborn man in the NFL. Kansas City's falling in love with him, and then this happens. It's like, God damn, man, just keep your nose clean. You're about to make hundreds of millions of dollars probably with how good you are. Let's pivot. Kareem Hunt, 8-game suspension. Did the NFL get it right?
Well, here's what I think the NFL has figured out. Instead of suspending a guy for 12 games and forcing him to file an appeal, and then during that appeal process, all the evidence comes out about what a bad investigation it was and what an unfair thought and decision-making process the NFL used, like we saw with Ezekiel Elliott. What the NFL has started doing, and they did it with Jameis Winston, and I believe they did it again with Kareem Hunt. Anytime a guy gets suspended under the personal conduct policy and the announcement is that he's not appealing, that, to me, is an indication that they got with him, got with his agent, and worked out a deal. So the NFL doesn't have to risk embarrassment if there's an attack in the confines of an appeal. Because every time one of these decisions get made, and it's time to start looking into the nooks and crannies of how the NFL investigated it, how they went about reaching the decision, we find something that makes the whole process look horrible. So I think they went to Kareem Hunt and said, look, we can suspend you 12 games if we want to. We can suspend you the whole season if we want to. We're offering you 8. Will you take 8? He takes 8. And I don't know, did they get it right? Did they not get it right? I've seen the video. The video wasn't Ray Rice level. I mean, it was still evidence of something he shouldn't have done, and he should have been punished. But, 8 games is a stiff punishment. It's the baseline of 6 plus 2 on top of it. There was another incident where he allegedly hit somebody in June somewhere in Ohio of last year. That's part of this too, but that's a stiff punishment. And the video, you take away the video, he probably doesn't get punished at all. But when there's video, as we've seen time and again, that's the thing that gets a guy in serious trouble with the NFL.
Same with the cops, too, by the way. Video has really changed the life of law enforcement officers. There was a rumor, I think I might have read it on yours. The Patriots made a better offer to the Steelers for Antonio Brown, but the Steelers refused to give it up.
I don't think that's accurate. I saw that somewhere, and I don't know if someone was misrepresented or mischaracterized. My understanding was the Steelers wanted nothing to do with Antonio Brown, or the Patriots, rather, wanted nothing to do with Antonio Brown. The Steelers wanted nothing to do with him either. But I think that the Patriots recognize that you bring a guy like Antonio Brown into your shop, it's probably not going to work. He's either got to conform to the Patriot way quickly or he's not going to make it. And I think of Chad Johnson when he got traded to the Patriots after the lockout ended in 2011. He had his wings clipped. They stripped away his individuality. He was no longer himself. And at one point, I tweeted that sentiment, and he retweeted it or liked it or something, which made me think he must agree with me on this, that they made him different than who he is. And I think with Antonio Brown, if you try to make him different from who he is, he's not going to be who he is. And I just don't think the Patriots want that. They got one set of rules. They're not going to make any excuses. If a guy shows up late or a guy wants to, not do what everyone else on his team is doing, that's not going to fly. So, and I'm convinced, and I've been told that the Patriots had no interest in him whatsoever at no time and wouldn't have wanted him. Now, Odell Beckham, different story. But Antonio Brown, not somebody that they would have wanted.
Hey, Randy Moss was able to be Randy Moss up there. I don't know.
Well, for a little while. It worked for a little while. It worked for 2007, 2008, 2009. Then into 2010, he started grousing about his contract's going to be up, and he started to make some noise. And what they do, they immediately traded him to the Vikings.
For a fourth rounder. I remember that.
Rounder, and the Vikings cut him 3 weeks later.
Oh, I remember that because I put a tweet out. That was I got crushed for. I was like, Randy Moss is worth a third rounder now or something like that. And everybody was like, you think you're smarter than Bill Belichick? Everybody started coming after me, and then they cut him a couple weeks later. I was like, I guess.
Well, yeah, they cut him because they had catering in the locker room. It was a Friday before a game. and he yelled out, "I wouldn't feed this shit to my dogs," and he got cut.
That's before he got money.
Randy. Belichick showed up to his Hall of Fame thing in sandals, though. So let's remember Belichick. Like Belichick is Belichick an entirely new person? By the way, they won a Super Bowl. I thought him changing was going to hurt the Patriots. They end up winning a Super Bowl and turns out being even better. I mean, Tom Brady is openly showing videos of him fucking up on a ski slope. Belichick is shirtless at the beach with his lady. It seems like the Patriot way might be a little bit of a happier one. Is this trouble for the rest of the NFL, you think, Florio?
Yeah, I think they've changed the saying to "no shirt, no shoes, no days off." I think that's Belichick way. I mean, because the thing is, he still busts his ass, right?
Yep.
He still is who he is and does what he does. And we get caught up in the Chiefs and how great Patrick Mahomes is, and he is great. And when you look at how concentrated the young star talent is in the AFC right now, when you have Odell Beckham coming to the AFC, you've got Baker Mayfield, you've got Josh Allen, who I think is going to be great. You've got Sam Darnold and Le'Veon Bell on the same team.
Hey, Josh
You've got
Allen's
Nick
agent
Foles.
sucks. I just had to get that in because we were talking about agents.
You don't like Josh Allen?
I like Josh Allen. His agent's a piece of shit, but I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. Who's his agent, Ryan Grigson?
Hey, we're past that. Mike, we're past that. Yeah, we're past that. But yeah, the AFC's
but
loaded.
when you look at even with all that, Pat, even with all that, the Patriots are still the Patriots, right? And they're still going to be there when the dust settles. The question is, can they punch through the last two spots, AFC Championship and Super Bowl? Because we know they're going to be in the AFC Championship because they've been in it every year since 2011. At a certain point, you just have to assume they're going to be back there until someone proves us otherwise. And as long as Bill Belichick and Tom Brady keep coming back, I'm going to say this team is going to be in the Final Four. The question is, will they be playing at home or on the road? And if they're on the road, can they find a way to win like they did in Kansas City?
I'm a big fan of the way they run their shit up there. Also, big fan of the way you operate, Mr. Florio. I appreciate you so much for stopping by, dropping all the news. Who you got winning the college basketball?
West Virginia.
Let's go. Not even in the tournament. Hey, I think Huggins invited me to his fantasy camp thing.
You should go. That'd be great. That would be excellent.
Are you going to stop by if I go?
Possibly.
Hey, listen.
I'm not invited, though. Huggins, I've never met Huggins. I think Huggins is great. And I think what they did, they got it together. I don't know what went wrong this year. I don't pay much attention to it. But, they won a couple of games in the Big 12 tournament. And I actually tuned in and watched the game Friday night. Of course, that was the time for them to lose. But, I don't know. They've been so good under Huggins. It was really disappointing this year. But, again, when they're good, I jump on the bandwagon. When they're not, it's like, I don't pay any attention to that crap.
Well, you got a lot of stuff going on. It's hard to cheer for losers. I think Huggins will turn them around. They got this white chocolate kid named McCabe. I guess he's from Kansas or something. He's going to be the point guard. He was, I guess the announcers were saying that Huggins told him, no matter if you're 2 for 18 or 18 for 18, you're our guy. So he just started throwing up shit. I think he's going to have a lot of confidence going into next year. Could be a fun guy to watch, something to think about.
The other thing that gets me through the slow times, if they ever come, the Penguins. Are the Penguins good this year? I hope they make it to the playoffs.
Hey, Mike.
Are they any good?
I don't want to fucking talk about it. So I've only watched 2 games this year of the Penguins. It was a stadium series against the Flyers a couple weeks ago. We were dominant until like the last minute and 20 seconds, and then Matt Murray became a fucking Swiss cheese goal. Overtime, we lose. Then just again on Sunday, last night, Pens Flyers in Pittsburgh, 1-0 game with fucking 19 seconds left, I believe. They pulled their goalie. Matt Murray was just standing on his head. Sidney Crosby gives away the puck in the center ice. They get down, tie it up, and then literally 3.4 seconds left in overtime, they hit a fucking finisher to just bury us. And it was just, those are the only 2 games I've seen, and that's hockey talk.
See, I'm glad I'm not paying attention. If they make it to the playoffs, I'll pay attention. Even if I love NHL playoffs, so they're better when the Penguins are in it. But it's perfect because right after the draft, it really starts to get rolling, and you can enjoy that right into June. But man, those guys are tough, and the stuff they deal with the blades on their feet and the sticks and that puck whizzing around and the hard boards. It's just amazing to me how many games they play every year and survive.
I am so impressed by hockey. It's my favorite sport to watch. Penguins are going to make the playoffs. I think we're going to go on a run too. Sid had a terrible game on Sunday, so I assume he's going to get back hot. Here's a question that I asked while watching the game last night, Mike. Do you think that any let's go top NHL skaters, any one of them could become Olympians if they wanted to? If there was nobody else on the ice, do you think Sidney Crosby could jump up and spin in a circle and land perfectly? I think he could.
Oh, you're talking about figure skaters.
Yeah.
Yeah, boy, I had never really thought about that. I thought you were going to say, like, could any NHL players, like, make it in the NFL or something like that? I mean, the thing is, they're all, like, 5'5" and 120 pounds. But, yeah, I don't know. I don't know about the whole figure skating thing. But when you look at the stuff they do with their bodies when they have guys dragging them down and hitting them with clubs and, you know, if you were just out there by yourself and you didn't have to contend with anybody else, you could probably do anything.
I think Sidney Crosby could be an Olympian figure skater if he wanted to. Just what does he got to do?
I'm picturing him in sequins.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, very much. I'm thinking him in the Will Ferrell Blades of Glory blue suit. I think him and Evgeny Malkin could do the watermelon. What's it called?
Oh, Flying Lotus.
The Flying Lotus, yeah, the Dutchman.
Hey, let me tell you something. I don't know how you feel about Blades of Glory. I have walked out of one movie in my life, and it was Blades of Glory.
I did that
the only time I ever did it.
I did that for the movie Pop Star. Here's a little inside scoop, by the way. I got a little inside scoop for you.
Go ahead.
ESPN's pursuing Peyton Manning for Monday Night Football. But I've been told my name is still a talking piece, Mr. Florio. Our intel says my name is still a talking piece. We trended for 10 hours, Florio. McAfee for MNF trended.
You did an excellent job of injecting your name into that conversation. I'm very impressed with your marketing savvy.
Grassroots,
but do you think, with that army of an analyst that they have there, an army, it's a full army with lieutenants and generals and sergeants. I mean, they're everywhere.
Yeah.
You think they're going to roll it? I mean, it would be great if they did.
Hey.
And maybe you know something I don't.
Hey,
but
there's something that no army can handle, and that's special forces. You put a microphone in my fucking hand, I'm a Navy SEAL. Everybody knows that.
SEAL Team Boomstick.
All right, Florio, I know you're probably busy. Just a little intel, by the way. Little inside scoop right there for you if you want.
I'll keep my eyes open. Hey, feel free to text me if you hear anything good about it, and I can break some news, baby. We got to stick together.
All right, I'll send it right to you. I appreciate you. Tell Richard Sherman to go to hell with your big brain. Ladies and gentlemen, Pro Football Talks, Mike Florio. Thank you, Mike.
See you guys.
It is time. The first weekend of the NCAA tournament is about to begin. It is the greatest betting event of the year. Whether you like filling out a bracket, picking a national champion, predicting first-round upsets, or all of the above, MyBookie is the perfect home for your March Madness fun.
Yeah. Let's go.
Let's go, March. Come on, March. Will Zion Williamson and his teammates run the table and cement their legacy at Duke with a title? Can Virginia get past its loss to a 16 seed last year? And can Kentucky with Calipari get back to the Final Four?
Good questions.
How many college threes can I make? Thursday at 11 a.m. Beat Pat McAfee is back with MyBookie.ag. We will be streaming it live on all of our social media platforms. You can bet on me shooting college threes. You can bet on March Madness. You can bet on the NBA. You can bet on politics. You can bet on reality TV. You can bet on absolutely everything at MyBookie.ag. That's why they are the greatest gambling site on earth. Also, they're the most socially active.
True.
Oh, for sure.
You follow them at BetMyBookie, and they respond to every mention, every DM, every tweet, everything you got. You got questions or
inquiries?
Okay. Okay.
Good word.
Okay.
Tony.
What if you're a little bit upset with something?
Like you're a little disgruntled with what's going on.
You send them a tweet, they'll respond and make it right. At Anonymous Gambler, also huge asshole. He's the guy that sets all the lines over there. Go ahead and go after him if we get a big win. MyBookie.ag, promo code PAT, get 50% bonus on your first deposit. Now listen, that's 50% winning already off the jump street. You listen to Bro Bets, which we'll talk about here in a little bit. You listen to Dakich's brain there from earlier. Florio, you could probably bet on where teams are going to end up. Go invest in yourself at MyBookie.ag and go make a lot of money. 50% bonus on your first deposit. Promo code PAT. MyBookie.ag. Promo code PAT. Let's get rich. Beat Pat McAfee is back Thursday, 11 a.m. on all our social media platforms. Come on. College threes. There will be an over-under set. Let's go and bankrupt them motherfuckers and lead into an incredible weekend of us all getting rich. And MyBookie.ag going out of business. Promo code PAT, 50% bonus on your first deposit. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the shenanigans of every human in this room from this past weekend is about to be talked about. Do not judge us. Just enjoy it. Cheers. Hey, we got our guy.
Let's go. Who is it?
After a priest combine.
Sturdy one.
Had a preacher combine. A lot of people were sending me messages,
Yeah.
They were like, we're cool preachers. We'd like to do your thing. Then I'd surf through their profiles, both on Twitter and Instagram.
Of course.
Without them knowing I'm doing research.
Correct.
And I got to the point with just about all of them where I was like, nope, don't want this person at my wedding.
Don't look funny at all.
That's why when
You
you're
know
looking
what I
for a
mean?
job, you go private on both of those things.
Yep, something to think about. Don't let old Cuzzy dig into your past. It's going to tell me a lot about my future and whether or not I want you a part of it.
Correct.
Yeah.
Now, granted, they're all really good people.
Sure. Oh, yeah, sure. They're preachers.
sure.
Maybe.
But they would have made us all feel very terrible about ourselves.
Yeah.
Which we don't need that day.
I don't need that on that
Do enough
day.
for
Hey,
myself.
it's your day.
My day.
It's your day.
Well, let's be clear. This is Sam's day.
Correct.
Cookie table, though.
That I am casted as the other half.
Correct.
Hey,
her
look,
day.
look at you.
It's your Saturday, too.
It is my Saturday. It's a good one, too, actually. It's a great Saturday. We'll be announcing that at some point. But the people that are going to be there, I mean, I want to be able to relax and have a good time.
Correct.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
I also don't want to have to work the entire time, shaking hands.
No.
So it's people that I've seen relatively
Recent.
so that I don't have to do the full,
Yeah.
hey,
That's a nightmare.
WWE,
How you done?
this,
whole
Monday Night
recap.
Football.
Should we get you a stunt double?
No. Not yet. Hey, now when I get that money and I'm on that island, though,
Oh, yeah.
maybe we do appearances just photos only.
Oh, I like that.
Let's find that guy whenever we get to that point. We'll all get one. Let's all strive,
right.
okay, to be wealthy enough that we can all move very far away and still make sustainable income off of our lookalikes taking photos.
Yes. Nice.
Okay?
Doppelgangers.
Goals.
Mine's pretty easy. I literally get tagged like 12 times a day. Anybody with a fucking
Right, right.
beard.
Right?
Great comedy coach, I heard.
We miss Bowers. Bowers did look exactly like Diggs, though.
Yeah.
He told us.
That's just not true.
He told us.
Oh, dude, he got mistaken for you all the time.
A lot of
Quite
people
often.
say a lot of things that aren't true.
Mainly
Well,
you.
I'm saying something that's true. We got our guy, our preacher guy.
Yeah.
Okay?
Locked in.
He's the FCA guy for the Colts.
Whoa.
Yeah, we've talked about this before. This is a preacher man that I have sat down, crowds have drawn around, and I have asked a lot of questions about the Lord to. And I know this guy could handle a good time, even though he himself is one of the most straight arrow, upstanding humans I've ever encountered in my entire life.
That's good.
You don't find that all
No,
the
those
time.
are very hard to find.
You don't?
Usually you get a little judgy-wudgy out of the people out there. You know what I mean? This guy knows.
I've had preachers threaten to cancel the wedding the next day if certain people were acting the way they were the night before during the rehearsal.
I've had
Really?
priests attempt to kick me out of weddings.
Yep. What? Yeah.
Well, I walked into a rehearsal. I'm not in the party, but I'm in another town where somebody I'm with is in the party. So there's literally nowhere else for me to go. So I go in there and I maybe laugh at something in the back.
Maybe.
All of a sudden, this priest thinks it's his day. It's his show. It's like, no, I fucking flew in here, cuz. Okay, I'm here to watch them get married, not listen to your bullshit.
That happens a lot.
It does. This guy won't do that.
Good.
Maybe he'll try. I hope he does. He's a good guy, though. He'll have a good time with us. I think he'll even work in some stuff, too.
Yeah.
Really?
It's not material.
Personal?
I think he realizes.
Yeah.
He realizes what's happening. He knows who he's talking to. He knows more about the way I feel about religion probably than anybody on earth. Okay. Which I just have a lot of questions.
Yeah.
I don't think when you die, nothing happens.
Right.
I'm just not sure which answer is the right one.
I agree.
Exactly.
How can you be?
I've been bouncing through a couple. I've bounced back and forth depending on the year. But I got maybe Jesus is the guy. I don't know.
Jesus.
But I'd like to keep a relationship with the other. Christ.
Just in case.
Loves you.
Where?
I would like to keep a good relationship, though, with the others, just in case.
Just in case.
Just in case.
Let's not put all of our eggs in one basket.
Hey, I'm not a fence rider
Easter.
normally.
Happy Easter.
Normally, I go all in.
Yeah,
Happy
yeah.
Easter. Reese eggs are back, too. We could put all of our Reese eggs in one basket and send them right to this fucking office.
Oh, I love that.
But normally, I'm an all in or all out guy. With the religion thing, I think there's too much on the line.
Correct.
I'm just not sure.
Hedging
Hey,
your
keep
bets.
your
I am.
options open.
I am. I got things everywhere.
Just smart. Just smart.
I'm reading about all of them, and then inside my head, I'm having, which I think people call prayers. I'm having those with a lot of different people. Every time I'll pray to like my grandma, right? I
Okay.
pray to my grandma, And then I tell my grandma to relay the message to whoever
Smart.
is in charge because I know my grandma's in
Good idea.
wherever I want to go.
Wow, that's smart.
That's
Thank
just
you.
Really
There you
smart.
go.
Way to do it.
I'm like, Betty, listen, I got. So I do it. She told me to my face when I was a child that she thinks that I would be good at anything that I want to be good at.
Nice.
Only lady that ever told me that.
Smart lady.
Well, other than my parents, obviously,
Yeah,
but they
yeah,
have to. But she said it with a straight face. And I was like, okay, you're fucking right, too, by the way. Tennis, not great. Not great at tennis. Not a lot of effort being put into tennis. I heard it's a great sport, though. She taught me how to play cards, though. She would hustle my ass whenever I was a kid playing
That's
cards.
what they're for.
I don't think every grandma. By the way, I don't think all kids play poker with their grandmas.
No.
Not poker, for sure.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Because I've literally been playing poker
She was
since
taking
I was
your lunch money.
Yes, she was. She was like taking shit from me. But when the World Series of Poker got hot
There you
and
go.
everybody wanted to play,
Yeah.
I'm fucking 6-7 years into this game. Hey, I'm already playing. Me and Betty used to go cook some shit with the ladies at the little old ladies club.
She basically
Yeah.
got you in the NFL by winning that poker game.
She got me into West Virginia.
Correct.
Shout out, Betty.
Yeah.
Yeah, so every time I pray, I talk to her, and then I tell her to relay the message.
That's just smart.
But she was a big-time Jesus lady, though. So now I'm wondering if it isn't the Jesus,
Oh,
you know, what happened?
yeah.
Because she was a saint, so I don't know. But I tell her to relay the message. I think that's the smartest thing.
It really
Yeah.
is.
Then you know the boss is getting the message at least.
Yeah, especially from Betty. Betty's going to relay
Will
it.
your ceremony have a religious feel to it?
No, I don't think so. I mean, he is a...
Is he the guy who I'm thinking is the
yeah,
guy? Yeah.
yeah,
okay.
bald.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can we put a
I
referee
know.
costume on him?
Why?
He's
He's officiating the wedding.
An officiant.
With you.
It would be funny.
come in fucking footlock.
Just blows the whistle on you. Plays dead. Plays dead.
Sam would slap the Jesus out of him. You know how quickly?
He's already got the one white stripe, just a few more.
Yeah.
I don't think he'll wear the priest gimmick either.
Oh, no.
Really?
think
Just
No,
business
he's a
casual?
preacher. He's not a priest,
Oh.
right?
No, he won't wear that. He doesn't wear.
He
a
doesn't wear
collar.
the priest gimmick.
What
He
do the
wears
pre-
like I think
What do
like
preachers wear?
I think he wears like a
He'll wear-
button down
he'll
and
wear a
jeans.
suit, yeah.
Oh, cool.
Athletic gear.
You might wear a suit to your thing.
I don't know. Man, I guess it depends on what Sam wants him to
We
wear.
should figure out what he's wearing.
What do you
He's
mean?
very thin. We're talking thinner than Foxy.
He he looks like
tough
Adam
to do.
Silver, commissioner of the NBA.
He does.
That's who he is.
He does.
Okay.
Thinner, probably.
That's
somehow.
tough to do.
He eats and eats and eats, and he just can't do anything.
Yeah,
so
I hate when that happens.
It's the worst. There's a lot of people like that, by the way. Joe Thomas is another guy.
That's absurd.
Hey, he looks very good.
Very good.
Very good.
Like marathon sprinter good.
He and I have had conversations about the keto diet.
Correct.
Yeah?
Him and Tim Tebow, I think, are on a different diet than me.
Theirs are working better.
Aren't we all on the keto? I
Yeah,
mean, me, Tim Tebow, and Joe Thomas are all on keto.
Well,
What's
What the
happening?
fuck is going on?
Maybe that's what you're supposed to look like, and they're just not taking the proper vitamins, and then the keto's messing it up. But you are doing it correctly.
Maybe you're doing it right.
Now we're blaming an herbal remedy.
Oh no, I'm blaming Joe Thomas and Tim Tebow for not doing it
Whoa.
correctly.
You know what? They don't own small businesses.
They don't own
They
small
don't have those
businesses.
stressors
Nope.
in their life.
True.
They don't know what
They
that's
have
like.
no stress in their life.
They are both very wealthy.
Yes, that's
That
it.
too.
Very, very wealthy. I am rich, but not wealthy. We here are all trying to get to the wealthy so we can do the thing we talk.
Correct.
Exactly.
But he would always come in with new costumes, right? That like are on the mannequins at stores because he's literally built like a mannequin. So he would come in with these and I'd be like, man, I didn't even know humans could wear that. Like because he's the built.
Yeah.
He's like a vest on top of a shirt that you would think would
It's a
look.
nice life.
But yeah, he looks incredible. He'll dress very well, and he'll do a good ceremony. I don't think it'll
good.
be long though.
No, it shouldn't be.
Yeah, keep it
There's
short.
if there's no mass.
15,
Yeah,
20.
hit and run.
Keep it short.
Sam has said on numerous occasions to everybody in here, both to me personally and to everybody kind of at the St. Patrick's Day thing on Saturday, which we'll get to. Great holiday. Appreciate everybody that tweeted us their pictures. We had a great time. I got a chance to drink with the boys. Haven't done
great
that in
time.
a long time. Had a headache for fucking 12 hours. I am the worst.
You're done.
I'm done, man. What happened to me, dude? What happened to me?
You've never casually drank before.
In my entire life?
So you tried it, and that's what you just got left with a headache.
Had a headache for 12 hours. Sam and I are like laying in bed, like fucking taking Advil and Tylenol. Like, man, we cannot do this anymore.
You were drinking that green beer too, weren't you?
I don't know.
Did you get any of that? I
No.
thought I saw you with it. That stuff was tough.
Yeah.
What? I don't know what they
Oh,
chose.
Ty, is that right?
You remember that?
Ty, were you there?
Yeah, I had to head out a little bit early. Well, I was talking to Nick on I think Sunday night, and I was like, it's weird. I don't even think I drank that much. But at the pub, I was hammering whiskey straight. Forgot about that, and then I blacked out like maybe an hour into getting the pavilion.
I was like, you don't think you drank? You're drinking full glasses of whiskey.
It was awesome. First of all, I walk into the pub.
Mm-hmm.
All right, here we go. Everybody's already there. I tell Sam, like, we got to stop by the pub for sure. I mean, everybody's going to be there. She's like, okay. So we get ready. We go down there, walk in. The whole place is already cooking.
Oh, yeah.
Ty Schmidt walks over to me, straight face, says, listen, I haven't been doing what I'm doing today since last St. Patrick's Day. In his exact quote, I'm excited to see how it turns out. This is within like a minute and a half of me walking in. I think I shake Foxy's hand. I say hello to everybody. I point out that there's a guy wearing a yellow suit. All right, don't know him. Welcome to the pub. Happy to be here. And then Ty comes walking over and goes, hey, how's it going, pal? And then he tells me that, and I'm like, all right, this is going to be a fucking day. And then everybody in the pub was making shots. By the way, your new bar looks good.
Thank you for it, by the way.
Thank you. It took us a while to build.
Your new bar looks good. I had a beer there. We might have grabbed some vitamins. Then we go down to the plaza, Pan Am Plaza, Shamrocks and Shenanigans.
Oh, yeah.
Nick and Todd put on a show for all the people to watch in the middle of the fucking
A war.
Hey, they did the American Gladiator. So they had like
the Pugil
slides
sticks.
there. They had American Gladiator thing there. It was Shenanigans.
Yes,
Adult,
it was.
adult bouncy house.
It was.
Correct.
It was adult shenanigans. And as soon as we walked into the place, Nick looks at that fucking American Gladiator thing and goes, I'm taking somebody in there with me or something like that. You wanted Foxy.
I did.
Yeah, you did want me at first.
And he was going to go. To his
was
credit,
ready.
he was ready to go, but we waited a little too long. His feet got cold.
Well, there was a line. I was like, I'm not here to go to the fucking bounce house. I'm here to drink.
There was a line of one person.
That boy Foxy.
it's good.
Hey,
Yeah.
Foxy plays no games.
No games.
St. Patrick's Day, I'm not here for your little bounce house.
And I will say, after watching what happened, I'm glad I didn't get in there.
Yeah, be glad you did.
Yeah.
No, I was about to say, Todd signed up as soon as Evan Foxy backed out.
Couldn't have signed up sooner, by the way. I looked around. Gorms wasn't there yet. I said, Todd, you want to go in there? Fight? Yeah.
But you two had very different styles of said
Yeah.
fight.
Oh, yeah.
I was just going to pugil stick. Like I thought,
Yeah, the
we're
way
just
you're
going to try to hit
supposed
each
to.
other
You're
with
gonna
the pugil
American.
stick.
So the way this looks, there's a bounce house, and then there's an elevated area that kind of topples, like a almost. It's like a bull, but a pad that people can
Like
stand
the
on.
most impossible thing
Very hard to
on.
stand
It was
on.
Impossible to stand. It looked very difficult. But then they have the American Gladiator jousting sticks post with two pads on either side. You're supposed to stand. It's very simple. It is a very simple game. You're supposed to stand on the thing that moves, and then you're trying to knock the other person off the thing.
Right.
So you guys get in there with two very different mindsets.
Oh yeah. I just look up and I get fucking bull rushed by Nick at a full spray. He just holds a stick out in front of him and just rams into me.
He cross-checks Todd's face. He literally cross-checked.
I'm going backward. So I was like, it's okay. I'll brace myself. I'll bounce off the side net and I'll come back into it. When you hit that side net, it just keeps going and then separates from the rest of the bottom and sucks you into like a little pocket.
Todd and Nick almost flipped over the American Gladiator bounce house in the middle of the thing, causing quite the scene because Todd was there to joust. Nick was there to spear. And it was a very interesting situation. They film it, they finish it all. Nick gets out peacocking very hard because he almost kicked Todd out of a bounce house.
Well, I woke up from what was going on there. I blacked out in there, let's be honest.
Yeah.
You know, you go into a cage
sure.
with Todd McComas, I'm not gonna I'm gonna go full speed for as long as I can, which was about 30 seconds.
A crowd gathered, by the way.
So I looked up
Crowd gathered.
and there was a crowd and I was like, okay, well, I just need to claim that I won right now. and
Finally,
walk
I
out
just
of
had to throw down my stick. I'm like, I gotta get something in. So I just lateral dropped you and rolled over, and I tried to grab my stick again. By then, I was like, I'm about to fucking throw up.
We saw the moment where you two quit. We
like,
saw the moment where you two quit, and it was an entertaining thing.
Are you not entertained?
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. It was like a gladiator in the middle of St. Patrick's Day. We had drinks. We got a chance to talk to some people there. Went upstairs. Interesting setup. Interesting setup.
little
So
bit.
we decided to bounce out.
Yeah.
I don't mind sitting down, you know?
Yeah. Every now and then, I like to sit down, take a load off.
Maybe a cushion.
Sure.
It would have been nice to just fought a man to the death. Yeah. My lungs were burning.
Hey, can we let these gladiators take a breather?
Can we get a couch maybe sit on?
No, what? Anyways,
Yeah.
so we leave. We go to another place, and Sam and I have 2 drinks. But at the other place, patron saint, I think Foxy was near me, and I brought up Zito giving a speech at the wedding.
Oh boy.
Again, I brought up Zito giving a speech at a wedding. I said, good news. Zito said he's been practicing for that speech or whatever. And Sam goes with a straight face. The reception is all Pat's. The ceremony is all mine. So I get to control what happens at the reception, 100%.
All right.
So the after party is 100% being controlled by me. She has the ceremony, all the important shit. I assume she'll pick the food and all like the logistics, but how the reception goes is 100% on me.
Nice.
All right.
Hey. Hey, we're going to get some Cirque du Soleil up here. Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Dueling pianos?
I might hire Ricochet. I might pay Ricochet. I might pay Ricochet. Bring in a ring and just have him fucking do the incredible. Just pay him a mouse.
Magician in there, maybe?
Hey, how much? Yeah, magician's definitely coming. Yeah. John Dornbos probably.
Yep, probably.
I don't know what our
Maybe a
budget
bouncy
is.
house with some sticks in it.
I'm gonna stay away from the gladiator bounce house, but definitely a slide.
Slide somewhere.
Definitely be a slide.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Dueling pianos for sure.
Yes.
Dueling pianos was my legit first idea. I was like,
It's a good one.
I feel like anytime dueling pianos is somewhere, everybody's having a good time.
Yes.
Yep.
And it might be because the drinks at this place is normally cheaper
Yeah.
than
They are.
everywhere else. But also, I feel like it's a festive activity.
Yeah, you get Bohemian Rhapsody
Everybody gets
going.
wrapped
There's
up
gonna
in
be
it.
a serious battle going on the floor there.
I see a little silhouette of a man.
He's just a poor boy from a poor family. Sparing his life and his life's fantasy.
Yeah, that. So we'll have that moment.
That'll be good.
That moment will happen.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
Everyone was just at the wedding. It was a good time.
That was great.
Wedding was a good time. So that's going to happen. We're going to have a blast.
Should we see how much Red Panda costs?
Yes, Red Panda is going to try to be. I'm going to try to book Red Panda
For sure.
Have to. Red Panda at a wedding.
I think you put glass on top of your pool and have her do it there.
Oh, what you say? You
Put glass on top of your pool and have her do it there.
at my house?
Yeah.
This isn't at my house.
You're right. Why did I? Still
I
not
mean,
a
we
bad
can have
idea.
Red Panda over. I think.
I'm gonna be honest. I knew it wasn't at your house, but the way you're talking about, for some reason in my mind, I'm
I was picturing
imagining
it in your yard.
the Billy Madison backyard
Yep.
scenario going on.
I want to let you know that I did pitch that very, very hard.
Nice.
I was like, why don't we just do it here? It's
free.
I was like, you find a house that has a better backdrop than that one
Right.
back there. Seriously. And then we were sitting there like 2 days later in the creek that's right next to our house. Yeah, just overflew and just flooded the entire
Forgot
backyard.
about that
That
part.
could be
Forgot
bad.
about that part.
Yeah, it became a pond. And she was like right on cue too. As soon as we were looking, I think there was like some deer running away or something. She was like, "Oh, that would be great for a wedding to have back there." And I was like, "You fucking smart." It's just not reliable enough. The backyard is not reliable
Forgot
enough.
all about that.
I mean, bricks fall off.
Yeah,
We've
yeah.
all seen it. That back patio thing that's a deck, that thing's
Oh, yeah.
coming down any
Yeah.
day. Any day that thing's coming down. That is a liability.
Your yard was leaking.
Oh, just shooting water up
It was
in
a
here.
geyser. You got a natural geyser.
I had geysers in my back. I don't know what's back. There might be oil dying. There seems to be a lot of activity.
How about getting married inside of a wrestling ring?
No.
Come on, Tito.
The ceremony.
Have some respect.
By the way,
Yeah.
ceremony isn't mine.
I forgot.
Anything
I
that
forgot.
happens during the ceremony, other than me picking the guy, I don't think anything else is. I don't think anything else is mine in that ceremony.
Yeah, I would say
So
that's accurate.
get ready for
That's
a
accurate.
snooze fest. I'm joking, Sam. I can't wait for it. It's going to be beautiful.
Very
Hey,
excited.
good for you for helping plan this thing.
Yeah, hey, great job.
Good
Pat.
for you.
I didn't even think about me.
Hey, what a guy.
Good for me, huh?
Good for you.
I'm doing that.
Yeah.
You're doing
It's
it.
you.
Half of the wedding.
Wow.
Good job.
Hey, it's not just Saturday. It's my Saturday, too.
Yeah.
Hey, look at you.
Look at me. Have we thought about
I like that.
I just thought about that. Look at me.
Yeah.
Where's Amir? What else should we talk about? The NCAA bracket. That conversation we had with Dakich earlier.
Great.
Yeah.
I feel like he really knows his shit. He does.
Yeah, I hope he does
a lot of games.
Yeah, I had Wofford in the finals, so I'm definitely going to change my bracket.
He saved you so much.
There was a lot of I saw a lot of like dumbfounded faces when he was saying things, looking around the room, mostly in Connor's direction, because everything I think Connor was making, like LSU, he's like, yeah, LSU, I love that. Dakich is like, look for Yale, and Connor's like, fuck, Wofford, oh fuck. It does feel like when you're talking to somebody that really knows what they're talking about, though, if your idea syncs up with theirs, you feel real good.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Like you're a genius.
Yeah, and then Thursday comes around and every single fucking thing that he said goes wrong.
Exactly.
And that's why it's great.
why it's madness.
That's why it is magical. I am pretty anti the whole, like, they're making so much money off of
So much money.
people that are making nothing, right?
For
These
sure.
players.
Yeah.
Now, granted, they're getting a lot of exposure, which, by the way, I will concede in my thought that NCAA players should be getting paid a lot more than they do, because the ability to build your brand off the back of the school is a huge deal. Okay, so that's a huge deal. Now that brands can be built and there is value on them, I think there should be a negotiation of some sort, because that is a huge deal that not a lot of people are getting, right? Because they're playing for their team, they're making a lot of money for their school, they're doing all of these things. They're making their school more popular, so more students want to go there. I mean, sports do a lot for a school.
For sure.
The players aren't making any money at the moment. I think at some point there'll be a stipend that comes, which will be good, but the ability to build your own brand is huge. But I love March Madness.
It's
like,
great.
they're making so much money off these kids making nothing, but it is fucking electric. It's the best. Last year, I loved it. I
It
absolutely
was
loved
probably your first year betting on it, too.
It was awesome. I mean, it was quite a roller coaster.
Oh, yeah.
I
You break even, and you're pretty happy at the end of the tournament.
I think I've learned, though, that I got to bet less money.
I would agree with you.
Yeah, it makes it tough when you have a bad
Sound
week.
advice.
Yeah.
I got to bet less money. I think that's what I learned from last year.
The highs aren't as high, but the lows aren't as low.
Yeah, it's true. And I think in a pros cons situation, that low is not worth any amount of high that I could possibly get. But last year, March Madness, I went pretty. I went
I mean,
pretty.
you cut what
hammered
you
deep
normally
in there.
do in half, even by 3/4. You're still going to care who wins.
I agree, because it's not about the amount of money. It's just that I have money.
And you're winning. You're in the positive.
True, and I think we're gonna make a lot of money.
I can't
Bro Bets is hot, by the way.
Oh, we are
Get in there.
Which,
So, Bro Bets is a new podcast that Degenerates of the Office started. It's Boston Connor screaming into a microphone there.
Yep.
You can also hear him do that there. By the way, not as bad
he's
this year.
learning. He's learning.
Hey, self-awareness, we're working on it. Listening, we're working on it. So we're getting
There
better.
it is.
Hey,
Big one. Yeah.
tell the listeners thank you for the
Feedback.
Thank you for the feedback. I'm very sorry for yelling in your ears. I have learned this new scenario where I move my head to the left a little.
Do it.
Hey!
Great.
Hey.
A little bit.
Wow.
I'm
Get
not
off
screaming into the
Mike's
mic.
screen.
Yeah.
Hey,
That's funny how
what
that
just
works.
happened there?
It's funny how that works.
We learned.
Still pretty loud.
We learned.
I feel like we were telling you that for months, but
Yeah, but
still
see,
loud.
and that's why I'm working on my listening now.
there it is.
Yeah.
You see, it's a combination of the two things.
You got to put them, you need two things to mesh together here.
Absolutely.
So it's the newfounded listener. Gorms is in there. Bro was originally founded by Gorms when
Yep,
it came in
the original
Christmas
founder.
season.
Yep.
Because he said it was gift giving season. Everybody's like, bro, can I get a bet? Can I get a bet? So now
yeah.
Bro Bets is a real thing.
That's what we do.
It's gotta
We're
feel
still
good.
doing it. Yeah, it's going to be one. I think Todd's right on it, because I think we're so close to hitting the cup of coffee a day parlay, which is huge. About 10 bets rolled up into one for $5, winning anywhere from $2 to $3 grand.
Yep.
Let's go.
It's going to be this week. I'm just telling you.
Yeah,
if
I'm
it's not,
feeling it.
If it's not last night or it's not tonight, it's going to be this week.
Yep. Wow.
Okay, so you're saying Bro Bets is an everyday show, by the way.
Yeah, every day at noon.
5 days a week.
Every day at noonish, depending on when you can edit and get it up. Every day you do a cup of coffee parlay.
A day.
Which is we each put in picks, and we use MyBookie. The max bets that you can have in a parlay in MyBookie is 10. And instead of buying an extra cup of coffee that day, you take those $5, you put it towards this parlay, and it's normally around between $2,500 and $3,500 if you hit.
Scratch off, bro.
On $5.
Bingo.
Why
All
not?
we gotta do is hit once.
Yeah.
Out of 365 days, and we're in the green, baby.
Yeah.
And you know where we like to live?
In the green.
In the green, baby. And that's what that's
That's where we live.
about.
That's what I like. And what I like is I told everyone when we started this, if you guys feel confident about a bet that day, get your ass in here and get on the mic and give it.
And find that fucking dog.
This is an all-inclusive office betting show because we're all degenerates in this office. Let's be honest.
True.
Yeah, and that's Bro Bets.
And look at it this way. It's $5 a day for this cup of coffee a day parlay. It's going to hit, and it's going to hit soon. If you don't win in a month, you're talking about $100 that you put into it, but the next month you're going to win, what, $150 you put into it? And then boom, you hit your parlay. I like those odds. If we're playing stock market, I'm just saying.
Bro Bets isn't really a podcast. It's a lottery.
It's a lot.
That you're going to win.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of that?
Nope.
That's what we do.
We're just giving out money.
Giveaways. ATM. We should have called it the ATM.
Yeah.
We can
Keep spitting out bills.
By the way, still,
change it
we can
anytime.
still
Early in the game.
workshop the show.
Could
We
change
can
it
still
anytime.
word-shop it. Ain't that right?
Oh,
Theo?
yeah, you workshop it.
Word-shop the hell out of it. I think Bro Bets, the ATM podcast. It's not a bad little tagline there.
Just spitting bills.
I don't hate it. I
The
don't hate it.
ATM of a pod. You get it.
Speaking of ATMs,
Yeah, but
the withdrawal fee is a real issue at some points.
what are you talking about?
So, if you haven't seen, I have a new addition to my family.
Oh, yeah! Congratulations, by the way, new puppy in the Diggs house.
Got a new bulldog
Domestic
Peppy.
Diggs house.
Hey.
So I went and got up there. The owner, the breeder, didn't tell us that it was all cash.
Hold on. You were drinking with Todd and his lady, with
Yeah.
your lady, at a brunch the day after St. Patrick's Day,
Correct.
where I was Ric Flair face planting into beds because I felt like shit. You guys were at a brunch. Todd had literally a pounder of beer, smiling, looking at it. You had some champagne, I believe, or vodka something.
Yep.
And I was like, holy shit. And then all of a sudden, it's like following like a hilarious situation. You guys are at brunch having a good time. Then somebody's driving while everybody else is filming, and a dog showed up. And it was like, holy shit, this is a Sunday.
So I wanted to go to brunch because 2 drinks obviously is what makes me feel better in the morning.
Oh, yeah, you have your hangover cure.
I literally told my girlfriend, I said, we could go to brunch, 2 drinks, and then we're coming home. She wanted a Sunday fun. I said, no, we're fucking coming home after. Well, I obviously got overruled by the group. I don't even know how it popped up. We've been talking about getting another dog for a long, long time. I don't know how it popped up, but we found one on the internet. We called the guy
It's beautiful
to meet
dog.
him today. We went up there, apparently cash only, but if you go to an ATM, you can only take out a certain amount of cash at a time. My limit is so much, her limit is so much, so we had to have Todd and Marty also take cash out at the ATM. It was a very
Because you have that limit.
we need to
very
work on
expensive
cash
dog.
limit ATM
Yeah.
features.
We need our drugs now.
Yeah, it's
It felt so like a drug deal. We're in a Walmart parking lot. In there, trying to get money.
Todd's been there, done that before.
Yeah, but I was definitely sober, and I was definitely asked her a million times if she knew what was going on, what was happening, and she told me she did. So
I
here we
was
are.
not sober, so the whole time I'm like, yeah, you're getting a fucking dog.
So
Todd,
here
were
we-
you driving or Diggs?
No,
I was
didn't.
right.
Okay, because I saw that IG story, and I was like, who the fuck is
No,
driving?
I was the sober one.
Yeah, he had only had like 2 drinks, so the
Well, that's
rest
his
of us-
hangover cure.
Yeah. So you feel a little bit better, and
Yep.
then we
Driving.
went and got a fucking dog.
It's
And
a bulldog, English bulldog.
English bulldog.
It was very expensive.
My current bulldog not happy, not thrilled.
Hey, bulldogs are territorial. They get a little protective. All it's going to take is one. and then it's all.
Apparently, you're gonna wake up all hours of the night to let this thing out the fucking piss.
Oh yeah, small little bladders on those puppies.
It's a real situation. I did not know I was getting.
What did I
myself
tell?
into.
What did I tell you the other day, Connor?
Oh, you're saying get a dog that is potty trained
Already.
house
trained.
before you get it.
Good news though, it's been to the bathroom like 6 times, not once in the house.
Attaboy.
Oh, that's awesome.
Good.
So we're in a good spot already.
I've never had a human baby,
Yeah.
but a puppy. I've had a couple in my
Solid training,
life.
I assume.
It's fucking terrible.
Yeah.
I don't know. I saw you get one, and I was like, God damn, you just signed up. It's a lot of work.
Yeah. It's a shame you can't just diaper them up like a kid and just let them shit themselves until they're ready to do it the right way.
That would be nice.
Yeah.
That would be nice.
But I told Connor because I think the pub might be looking into a dog.
Are you
possibly.
guys?
We're possibly, yeah. We're always thinking of
You
adding
guys
to
should
the pub.
rescue. You guys should rescue.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You get a dog that's like 1.5, maybe 2 years old, and it'll if you rescue it, it knows that you saved its life too. So it's like grateful. It'll know how to shit outside. Yeah, Val is the greatest dog I've ever been around in my entire life.
Yeah, we bring a dog to the pub though. I don't know if they're going to think that they're being rescued.
That's a good point.
Take me back.
Good
Take
point.
me back to that fucking kill shop.
These floors are so crooked. What's going on?
At least I know I only got 2 weeks left there. Who knows how fucking long I'll be here?
I can't remember who it was, but somebody on Saturday said if we stayed at the pub the entire day, and we drank there the entire day, by the end of the day, we'd all just be standing in one corner because we'd be drunk.
Yeah.
The floor would just slam us into a corner.
Just keep moving to that corner.
It's like those slippery stairs in the Korea game show.
Yeah. Yeah.
Getting up from one side of the place to the other for you guys.
Am I banned from the pub?
How was that water?
I have diabetes now.
Oh. Now you do?
Yeah. I drank Skittle water at 4 a.m.
So what happened?
so it didn't work.
It was a prank gone wrong, and Diggs put Skittles in our
Brand
pub
new.
Brita. Yeah.
Brand new.
Brand new Brita.
Pub Brita?
I hadn't even used
Love
it
that
yet.
you just tagged pub.
I thought it would be hysterical
It is hysterical.
for them to get home and be like drunk
Such a
and
Todd
just
move,
wanting
by the way.
water, and then they go to drink the water and it's just sugary fucking Skittle water.
I honestly thought it was Todd.
Apparently, it was
get-go.
too sugary and it clogged the
filter.
filter. I mean, just buy a new filter.
Dude, how sweet was that? Just like water that you give hamsters, like sugar water. You being hungover and just with cotton mouth and chugging that is hilarious.
Hey, I'll be honest. Not the greatest prank ever, guys. Not the greatest prank ever.
Foxy just tried to keep it very real.
Well, no, I mean, I hadn't even used the Brita yet, but I didn't even know. And Diggs just sends us a text like, "Hey, I bought you guys a new Brita. I pulled a prank on you guys." So I was just like, "Oh,
What?
okay."
So is that a known? Is that a known prank?
No, that was my first time doing that one.
I've never heard of it before.
I mean, you just look around the house and you take advantage of what you have there.
Yeah.
You
I
use
respect
their
that.
own Skittles against
Oh,
it.
Yeah, and they're Brita.
So in the thread, I tweeted out. People said they usually put vodka in the Brita to like.
That
prank
would've been
somebody.
mean.
And
That
That
would've
was
been
so
mean. That'd
mean.
I would.
Oh, that's like the water bottle that has vodka
Yeah.
in it. You go stumbling out. Oh, I can't.
But I woke up at like
Steve will do
5:30
it.
a.m. on Sunday, and I was drinking this My Brita, great water. And I thought, and then
Mine
it
used
came,
to have
then it
good
came
water.
to me, and I was like, oh, I feel terrible now. So I apologized, and I bought him a new one.
Yeah,
That's
that's
just
nice
the
of
type of guy I am.
It's very nice of you.
Yeah.
2 week
never heard of-
suspension.
2 weeks suspension.
From the pub?
Yeah.
What a gift. If he accidentally ends up there not allowed in, that'd be fucking
Listen to Foxy. Not that great of a prank, guys.
I mean, out of all the things you guys could have did, and that's all you came up with.
Do you want us to burn your house down?
No, I just expect.
I don't know.
Content.
Maybe break a window.
He wants to pee in it.
I would like you
Step
to
it up.
burn their house down.
I mean, the best pranks.
on.
The best pranks.
Bro, you
gotta
guys are
find
going
the
to
sweet
die
spot.
in there. You guys are literally going to die in there.
I don't know. I
all
thought you
goes
guys all
well.
enjoyed it.
No, I'm not saying by natural causes. I'm talking by the pub killing you from falling in on itself. That place is terrible. That
I think
place,
Connor thought somebody lived in the attic for months that he didn't know about.
I was unsure whether there was someone in the attic or not. I wasn't ruling it out because I've never been up there.
the pub was a great host, though. You
They
guys
were.
had
Oh, yeah.
Krispy Kreme donuts out there. You had these Skittles in a bowl,
Oh yeah.
which you got taken advantage of.
You got to have candy bowls to classy the place up.
Appreciate you guys coming.
You guys
Yeah, it was
use,
a good time.
You guys use the Brita thing, huh? Everybody's
Oh, yeah.
a Brita
Oh,
person?
yeah.
My fucking fridge stopped doing it. The water.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That sucks. 'Cause I love mine. I burn the shit out of mine.
I don't think
You
I
got
ever.
bottled water on tap all the time?
No. I'm in a very bad spot.
What do you mean? Just stopped? It just doesn't
Just
work
stopped
anymore.
working. I don't know. So I would always use it at least 4 times a day.
Yes.
In the morning, I would get a cup and chug that thing. Cold water is just like a coffee, they say. That's a lie, but it's close.
Yeah.
Then Teddy only likes cold water. Cat.
So you're stuck there.
So I got to get him his own bowl of cold water. Anytime I'd walk to the fridge, Teddy would be coming over, sitting down, meowing at me. I'd be meowing back. He knew what was going to happen. So then one day, just a couple weeks ago, and then another cup of water and another thing for Teddy. So at least 4 times a day I'd use this thing. A couple weeks ago, I got back from somewhere. Same when I got back, Teddy comes over.
Yeah.
He's meowing at me. He wants his own bowl. I put it under there. I'm like so tired. I don't even notice it's not filling up. The light is up, and I look in. I'm like, oh, it's done.
You need a new filter.
I don't know. I've never
Is that
met a-
easy to change?
Yeah.
I've
very
never
easy.
had this thing before.
I've
Very
never met a
easy.
fridge that thing hasn't stopped working.
That's what I'm saying. Because everybody else that has this thing, I always go to their house. You know what happens?
broken.
No, it works.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
water comes out.
It fucking works. I've never seen one.
Our last house, it was broken the entire time we lived there. It was very frustrating.
Oh, man.
Oh,
It
yeah,
worked for
it
a
was,
couple
wasn't
months,
it?
Yeah.
and then it crapped out.
What do I got to do? I got to change the filter?
Filter, yeah. Some of them stop. I've had one that
Yeah,
stopped.
because if you have a fancy fridge, it's computerized, so it tells it, hey, it's the right place to
This
filter.
fridge that I have, you guys have seen it, might be from when they built the house. It might have been the first one that had the water thing in it. I got to redo the whole kitchen, by the way.
When
But
you
then-
lose your water source, that is a terrible thing to happen in your life.
So
Scary.
Romans died.
Because your ice maker's still working,
me,
right?
No. Yeah, it is.
See,
It is.
So you're getting water in
Yeah.
to the fridge. It's just something, it's probably kicked itself off for the
I
filter.
got to go turn that thing on.
Hey, you're redoing the kitchen now too, huh?
Got to redo the kitchen
And the deck
and the deck.
and the downstairs.
So remember, I've said this about the mayor of Indianapolis.
Uh-huh.
These roads probably should have been fixed years ago, but they just so happened to all completely fall apart under his mayoralship.
Yeah.
You're right. So it just sucks for you, bro. But that's your. When I moved into my house, the previous owner did not update a single thing in the thing. So everything started crapping out. The water heater, the air conditioner, the this, the that. I had to fix it all. Plus, trees started dying and falling into the neighbor's property, knocking down trees or knocking down fences. Guess who had to pay for those fences?
You, buddy.
You.
Me. Guess who had to bring in the goddamn guy? Me.
You.
It just so happened to happen when I bought the house, though. Like, all this shit stopped. That's what's happening to this fridge. This thing is probably a good runner for like 20 years, and now it's just stopped working. The fucking oven just stops working sometimes. None of it's been updated, so I got to redo the whole fucking kitchen, which means you got to have somebody in your house for like 4 weeks.
Might as well get a new house. Might as well get a new house.
Yeah, you might as well go stay somewhere for a month.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
I'm going to
'cause,
need
I
an
mean,
Airbnb for a month.
Everything revolves around the kitchen. You're always in the kitchen.
Everything. And if you want to redo it, what do you got to do? You just
move.
you got company.
Just move.
Did you say the pub?
I will move.
Yeah, the pub
Yep.
will. I think
Have
I
open
can.
doors, yeah. I
Yeah,
think
we
I
have
will
open
move.
Get a
doors.
2-month lease somewhere, 3-month lease.
I'm not going to the pub. There is zero chance of that.
Think about it.
I did. Anytime you got to fix anything in your house, though, I had to water pipes burst in my basement.
That wasn't your house though. That was the other side.
Part of the house that I don't see.
yeah.
I see the kitchen, but the house I don't see. That is like a fucking week and a half job. These people said they're going to be in my house for a week and a half. I'm like, I don't want anybody in my house. Get out of my house. Get out of my house. I can't do it.
That was in Single Pat's part of the house. Because right there,
Yeah,
that's
that
where
was
we would
the
always
basement.
graduate.
Yeah, that
That's
was
where
the
we'd
bar.
vitamin out, play cards.
Yep. That's everything down there.
Yeah.
That part of the house is dead.
It's been dead. But it committed suicide. Burst its own pipe.
Drown
Week and a half fix. A week and a half, somebody. And the kitchen's like fucking 3.5 weeks. And I know they're all upcharging me. I know it.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, can I backtrack to that dog?
Oh, yeah.
We got a name yet?
Oh, Lily.
What's the last name?
I don't know.
Hyphenated?
I don't know.
Daisy and Lily.
Yeah.
Daisy
like
and
it.
Lily.
So the dog I currently have is Daisy. The new one is Lily. The name of this dog on the website, the new one, was Daisy on the website. It's weird.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Destiny.
Almost
Yeah.
an omen. Yeah.
Oh yeah. So yeah, thanks, Squirms. Appreciate
Good
it.
omen or bad omen?
I don't know. You know what? They could be too similar.
Time will tell us.
They're the
this time.
same. You get two of the same dogs.
Yeah, bulldogs.
Interesting.
They're going to go after it.
Different color, though.
Life's only so short. You can only have so many dogs in your lifetime. And maybe mix it up.
Didn't the Marauders have 15 boxers?
No, just one.
Really?
Yeah, boxer, husky,
in
golden
my
lab.
mind, I got
I
it.
didn't know
We
that.
got another bulldog because we thought it would get along together because of the same breed.
Nah.
Nah, they're gonna hate each other.
Oh, I don't understand how that works.
There's only one situation that's going to pop off, and one will find out that it's more powerful than the other, and it's all over.
Oh yeah.
But that situation has to happen.
It's a good looking dog, though. Great dog.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
We can't bring another dog in Val.
Well, you tried.
We tried, and it was a sitch. We don't need more sitches.
Nope.
Sam's trying to fucking go around this contract she signed, by the way. She signed a contract that she would not
remember
have
that.
another animal for 5 years.
Still on the wall, right?
Still on the wall because we got the 3-legged cat, Scootsy.
Correct.
We already had a zoo. She tried to make it a full-on safari. Okay? Made her sign a contract. Samantha, it says, not her last name. Because she said, well, when we get married, I'll have a new last name, so that contract is void. I'm like, no, it just says Samantha. And what's your fucking name? Samantha. Still. That's you. Take it to court, Sam. Thank you. I was ready for it. No more animals need to be in this house. Everywhere we go, it literally is like a little village just following us. And I get scared. I love them all. I very much love them all. But you bring another one in, then you lose the attention on the ones that are there. That's what I try to explain to her. It's like,
Correct.
the house harmony is high.
That's nice right now.
Let's keep the house harmony at an all-time high. She's trying to break the rules. She wants to buy a frog for us for the office.
For the office here and here.
Yeah. I said, who's going to take care of that?
Thing's gonna die.
That thing will get out like the second or third day we have it.
Well, I guess there's something where you get a tadpole and then it grows into a frog.
Yeah, that's nature.
Yeah, evolution, bro.
Circle of
Yeah,
life.
but I think you can actually. I think they have ones that like maybe expedite the whole process. Completely natural, I'm sure.
Yeah.
If she wanted to send us a tadpole that would become a frog to the office.
That'd be pretty. I mean, that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, but she sent a
We should
chia
get
pet
a-
to the office, and that thing's sitting in the pub right now, poisoned, bald ass fucking head. That's
You gotta clean the tank.
what I'm saying.
What if we just get a
turtle.
caterpillar
Can't
that
really
turns into
pet
a
it.
butterfly?
Oh, we let out.
That's beautiful too.
Butterfly is beautiful.
You need a horse.
I think you should get a
Whose
little.
team are you on?
I think
What are
should-
you?
I think you do. I'm not on either side. I really do. With all the property you have out there, your life would change if you got a horse.
How much work a horse is?
We're
it's
talking
not
about
bad.
harmony. It poops this big.
I've
It's a
told
little bit of
how
work.
big, Z?
Oh, this big.
Jay Cutler has a goat that looks awesome.
Huh?
Jay Cutler has a goat that looks awesome.
Goat wouldn't be bad.
Sam wants a cow.
Nah.
No.
What do they do?
Oh, yeah.
Sam wants this
You
hairy
wouldn't have to mow
cow.
your. You wouldn't have to mow your lawn.
The horse, so you're a horse guy. We've looked into the horses because they're supposed to be just big dogs, I
Yeah, they're
guess.
awesome.
But you got to clean them and
Yeah,
hay
you
them
do.
and the whole thing.
Yeah,
horses.
you should go. Yeah, don't get a big horse. Get one of those little
Shetland?
those little tiny horses.
Shetland?
You know what
Oh,
I'm
mini
talking about?
pony.
Yeah,
Ooh, I
that
like
they
those.
have those shows and stuff. They're like dwarf horses.
Sebastian.
I feel like
That's what
only
you need.
rich immigrants have mini horses.
The
Hold
regular
on.
horse, you think, how deadly is that regular horse? Like I tell Marnie all the time, I'm like, you're a fucking idiot for you because she's like, well, you control the horse when you're on if you know what you're doing. I'm like, yeah, until he decides
Till you don't.
that you're not in charge.
Yeah.
And throws you.
And he's 1,700 pounds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I say little.
And I assume that my horse would get moody
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
with the way.
A cow might be pretty cool.
Well, I want a miniature bucking bull. Everybody knows I want a miniature bucking
Those are
bull.
also awesome.
That would be awesome.
Like Sam's like, she wants this cow. I'm like, hey, you let me get this miniature bucking bull.
So you
maybe
want
we'll-
for it, Dad?
But I think you need to get a goat. So
What the fuck was that bull's name? Fernandad?
Fernandad. Fernandad.
Don't you ever
Fernandad.
disrespect Cena.
Fernandad.
By the way, the plub was playing Fernandad when I walked in. Thank you to you guys.
Yeah, the valet took off, so we are trying to get the valet to take care of your car, but
Yeah.
he had to get off.
Hey, it's like
But listen.
it's like the old CBA. You know, if Sam wants to add something there,
Let's go.
you
Gotta
got
give
to
up something
compromise.
Yeah.
I want a miniature bucking bull.
There you go.
Yep.
Who's going to take care of him? Great question.
Gorms.
And he's ornery. Keep that in mind, too. He's always pissed off. That's the
The
only
bucking
thing.
bull?
Sure he is.
You just
Yeah.
can't
Not
show
mine.
red.
Mine's happy. I got a happy bucking bull.
Well, he's not bucking then if he's
I will piss him off every once in a while. We'll poke the fire.
hey, if you get a bucking bull, you have to get a goat because just like in Ferdinand, the goat is the director of morale of the animal world.
Yep.
all the
Need a
great
Zito in
thoroughbreds.
there.
are.
Fernandad.
Because it keeps all the animals company.
So this
They all
brown
make fun
cow
of the
is a
goat.
possibility.
And the
Are we-
goats will eat the trash.
They will.
Brown
and the
cows are
grass.
cool.
The cow and the grass, gone.
And I am looking into kicking some balls in the backyard
Mm-hmm.
again, just for fun. I missed the ball kicking, and my grass is so damn high. I got a little bucking bull back there. He's probably whipping in
I
shape.
think
Chewing
they
it
eat
down.
the grass, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Got to watch out for them bucking bull patties, though. Get some shit on your foot.
I couldn't even imagine.
A grumpy, a bucking bull grumpy.
Because you can't. I think you need a shit vacuum to pick those up. You can't use a shovel.
Oh, shot vac.
Oh. Zito had a burrito at 9 a.m. the other day. Fucking turned on a shop vac in the middle of literally the only meeting we've ever had here.
Cleaned it, though. It was all clean. People forget.
Yeah. Zito, can you not run the vacuum right now? We're in a meeting.
Zito never
Oh, it's
runs-
okay. I spilled my burrito.
Okay. I got Val ended up with a little cut on her head. But
Oh no.
I just got an
Fucking
update
Midas
that
did.
she scratched her head and it busted open the cut. She needs to start taking it easy on herself.
You didn't want her to get the cone.
She didn't want the cum.
I don't want that cone. She's a whole different dog with that cone.
Yeah, I assume it's the worst thing of all time for them.
It's like,
It's gotta be.
does your head hang low? Does it wobble to the dose? New segment today.
Oh,
In the IG story, I
Okay.
said sending questions for the podcast, chat with Pat situation. I will read the question, answer the question, and I'd like your guys' opinions
Okay.
Nice.
on both the question and
Okay.
the answer. Also, we got a celebrity answer.
I like that.
A question for a celebrity and then celebrity text answer for me to read. in our first ever IG story chat with Pat.
Let's go. Pretty awesome.
I don't know. It's
pretty huge.
Only down from here, I think, for this segment. Okay, here we go. At Kales 14, Kahles 14.
Hello.
He's wearing a Pittsburgh Penguins toboggan on his head, tassel cap.
Yep.
He loves
Toque.
the Pens. He's probably just as pissed as me and Mike Florio.
For sure.
are.
It's a tough one.
And that's Hockey Talk. There's another podcast.
Oh, yeah.
That's Hockey Talk.
Yeah.
That's right.
Every Thursday.
Get it?
Is that going to be a real thing?
Good.
Oh, yeah.
AQ Gordon
It is.
Giraldi.
What do you mean gonna be? It is a real thing.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
If AQ shows up to the next show.
AQ Shipley skipped the last episode.
Wow.
Come on, AQ.
I actually scolded him
You did. I was-
on a
thanks.
FaceTime.
Yeah.
He was jet lagged though.
Slept right through it, right?
The time zone change, he
Just
said,
saying. Yeah.
kind of screwed him over. Sure. A lot of excuses.
Yeah, it sounds like a lot of excuses.
Should have fined him.
Should have.
I should find him.
There we go.
Yeah.
That'll fix it.
Hey, Dobby! He's got good hockey brain, by the way.
He does.
does.
Great.
AQ Shipley loves the hockey. Never would have thought until you listen to That's Hockey Talk with two of the finest men I've ever heard talk about hockey, top topics of
Yeah,
hockey.
me and AQ. Yep.
Gorm.
No, that works. I agree with that, actually. Yeah.
Gorms is part of that show, too. Kyle's 14 says, you think it's cows?
Khaleesi?
Cows.
Cows.
Might be cows.
Cows, brown cows, bucking bulls. Have you thought of buying your own plane since you travel so much now? Yes. Yes,
Great
we have.
question.
We have
Great
actually
question.
done extensive research.
Extensive research. We've called a couple different pilots. We've called a couple different plane companies.
Different banks.
Couple different banks. It's a part of our business. It's wild how we are currently writing a business plan for potential investors so we can kind of grow this operation.
Possibly you.
Investor. And writing into the business plan, Phil Maines, our CFO, has loved this. He'll send me something, and then I'll adjust it, and I'll add a plane in there with estimated price of yearly operations, and then I'll just send it back. I won't use it in like different color font or anything. I just send it back as if it was a part of his. I'll be like, I think it looks good to go, and I just bank on him just being like lazy, and then I'll get like an email back with like a circle on it. It's like, what is this? How can we sell a brand new Hawker 800 in the business plan? He said, no, it's fine. Just explain to me how I'm supposed to explain that to them so they understand the business plan. I'm like, well, tell them it's needed. Tell them we're on a lot of flights. We ain't got time to be sitting around in the Orlando airport.
I was just going to say, just tell them to go to the Orlando airport. That's all they got to see.
Hey, Phil, we ain't got time for that.
Nope. No.
None.
What do they say? Time is what?
Money.
Can't value that enough. So yes, we are trying, and Phil is actually trying now. We've got him on our team.
Nice.
Did you got that iPhone yet or no?
Nah, he left it here.
No,
we tried
yeah. He did just spit in our face.
Still on the Android.
We might have the toughest CFO, smartest CFO, but he shaved his face, and now he looks like the youngest CFO I've ever seen in my life.
What a poor decision.
He
He had
said,
a good beard.
a hilarious text message from him. When I zoomed in on his face, when he took his little Phil to a hockey the Flyers fucking game. I zoomed in on his face, and I sent it back to him and said, what's going on here? And he said, why the zoom in, question mark. Then said, yesterday Kate got carded and I did not. So he shaved his face.
Been there. Been there.
Lost it. I started dying laughing. That was the most Phil Maines answer I've ever heard in my life. Shout out to his wife, Kate, though.
He'll have that beard back in 2 days.
It is unbelievable.
He's got that Wolfman in him.
He had a thing like 13. I think he's like
Oh, yeah.
13, 12 or 13 he had one. All right, here we go. From PJ_Summers asks, Family Guy. He's got two kids both wearing sweater vests in a picture.
Classy
okay.
family.
A
Probably.
it looks like a very, I mean, I'm zooming in right now. Looks like a very classy family. Short sleeve, white button up shirt. Oh, they're next to Ditka. I'm zooming in on it. Ditka and two kids wearing gray sweater vests with white shirts underneath them.
Very nice.
PJ Summers asks, what position in other sports would you compare with punter? So I think it's a middle reliever. I believe, is the one I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Middle reliever probably, and kicker is the closer.
Yep.
Yeah.
I believe those are two very accurate things. If the middle reliever only throws juice, too, that's probably another way to describe it. It's an all fastball middle reliever in baseball.
I'm trying to think of a better one, and I can't.
That's
You compare it a lot to golf too, just in general.
Well, it's because of golf, because it's repetition.
Right.
And it's a shot. It's just you and the ball. The only difference is obviously,
Team game.
well, and you got a lot of humans sprinting at you. And like noise is asked for as opposed to silenced.
Yeah.
But they get a lot more reps than we do, obviously. But they can fuck up more than we can.
True.
So there's a lot of give and take there. When it comes to the actual activity, mentally, you're a lot like a golfer. But to compare it to another sport, it'd be middle reliever.
Yeah, I can't think of anything better than that.
Can we say goalie as well?
Kicker, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe like a goalie. Maybe.
Would punter
Because it's
be?
like it's a situation. Kicker for that situation, it's like, well, you're
Last line of
either
defense.
you're either going to be blamed or you're just not going to be noticed at all. Pretty much.
Yep. That's holder then.
Yeah, that too.
So holder. Yeah. I don't know, but I think that's accurate.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think
for
if that's
sure.
how you view, if that's how you view punters, I think you have a better understanding of how you should view them.
Correct, yeah.
Like the whole "they're not football players" thing. Like, chill the fuck out. What? Like, we're on a football field getting a football check. Obviously, we're football
Absolutely,
players, but no, we are not comparable to an offensive lineman or a linebacker or quarter anybody really. We're different animals.
Still football
for
player.
sure. Good question there.
Great question from
Great
Bull.
question.
Yeah.
From
His
Bull.
kids got great shirts on though. So and they're with Ditka.
Good family, that Summers family.
All right, here. This is from Big Kev Stay Grimy.
Oh, big Kev.
Stay grimy,
grimy.
coach.
Big Kev Stay Grimy. It's him and his lady in the photo. He's got a little bit of a goatee and a mustache there.
Staying grimy.
Big Kev Stay Grimy. Looming to start a podcast / do an open mic at a comedy club. Okay, so we spelled looking wrong. What are some suggestions? Get this one a lot. Big Kev Stay Grimy. I think you should just go for it, man. Honestly, I don't think there's anything like just going for it in anything, by the way. I thought about this the other day. When I was in, I don't know if it was junior high or elementary school, there was this guy that came and spoke in our auditorium. He was a motivational life coach. And he had this thing where he pulled out like $100 bill in his hand or something. And he did this whole like, who wants this? You know, and everybody was like, I do. He's like, no, who really wants this? I do. I was honestly the person that stood up, walked up there, grabbed it out of his hand and sat down. He was like, that's what you have to do in life, blah, 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 blah. That was literally what I did, right? So I was that kid literally since I was a child. I think you just got to fucking go for it. I honestly believe that. If you're going to go do an open mic, you might suck, but you at least got to go for it. Little self-awareness. If you suck, maybe work on it a little bit. Don't throw yourself into the fire a couple times in a row. And if you're going to do a podcast, it's so easy nowadays.
Just keep doing it.
So easy. Just get a microphone, plug it into your phone if you have to. Get a friend to talk into a microphone, plug it into a computer. And if it's not good, don't put it out. Keep repping, and then just keep it moving. And there's just self-awareness has to happen, but I think you just got to go for it, to be honest. Because you never know till you know.
Correct.
Never know till you know.
Very well said.
Thank you.
Can I add something?
Yeah.
Don't loom. It's kind of creepy. Just looming around. It's awkward.
Yo, Big Kev, stay grimy. All right. Anything else from the room?
What about
was
Quentin Nelson, Taylor Lewan there?
Hey.
Opening up a little bit.
We got to get him a little drunk, I think.
Is that the trick? Is that the trick?
Hey, that was awesome.
Yeah.
For a guy who doesn't say words during an interview,
I'm a huge fan of everything that happened. So what are they? They became friends on the Pro Bowl, you think?
who knows?
Oh, yeah.
Left tackle, left guard. Mm-hmm. That's probably what happened. Like, hey, we're pretty
Yeah,
like
probably.
guys.
But
We're
hey, you went
really good at offensive lining.
You went on Pat's show, right? That's probably what the conversation
you know,
was.
yeah.
Oh,
Probably
icebreaker.
because
Yeah.
of you, really.
Taylor
Probably the
Lewan.
icebreaker.
Taylor Lewan sent me a message.
You're the least common denominator.
He was mad that I didn't tag him in the tweet. I was like, I ran out of characters, bro. I tagged you on Instagram though, but he said everybody knows the rules. And I was like, yeah, you're 100% right. That's 100% on me.
I love that human so much.
I'm a big fan of Taylor Lewan, and also a big fan of Quentin Nelson again.
Yeah, let's go.
Him willing to do that says a lot. No matter how many.
They did They were spot on too,
Bro.
They did that. They worked on that for a couple.
Do you think they had you ever see Dance Moms where there's somebody behind the camera doing the dance? Do you think there was somebody behind the camera that was
or there was a TV or an iPad or something with the video on it, and they were just doing that?
Yeah, Quentin Nelson had to have, because he had the sunglasses on too, and I thought it was because he was looking somewhere else.
He was spot on.
Spot on. It was perfect.
Taylor was as well. Taylor had the hand
They're
thing.
both very, very good.
Hey, I
Very
respect that
impressive.
move. I would like to let both of them know, as friends of the show, that what they did to the internet was beautiful.
Beautiful.
I really like what they did.
Amazing.
Now, granted, Colts Titans, they don't have to play against each other ever because offensive line.
Correct.
You know?
Yeah. I mean,
Which helps. I assume helps.
I would assume that's how they're friends. Quentin Nelson is not a.
Yeah, I mean, you get bombed on margs in a hot tub in a tropical setting with someone. You're friends, all right?
By the way, that suite looks pretty nice.
Yeah.
Cardi B and Offset stay in it. Taylor Lewan stays in it.
very nice.
I'm gonna look in that suite.
Yeah, might be you next.
I mean, you could just ask him if he's still talking to you.
Well, I think they're upset I didn't tell him.
Yeah, it's the same.
Not enough characters, bro. Go with Jack. Go with Jack. Everybody knew.
Yeah.
Everybody knew.
Yeah.
Everybody knew. They should, by the way. That's too hilarious. Josh Norman still thought he could beat that guy up.
Also hilarious.
Very funny.
Very funny.
Who says big guy knows how to fight? That's what he does for a living. Hey, Ben Askren, there's something we can talk about.
Yeah.
He's just calling out everybody.
Yeah, he's ready to take on whoever wants to step in there.
He wants to move up as quick as possible, and I respect it so much.
I think he said he doesn't have much time left, so he's got to move quick.
But I don't think it's unfounded either. I think he can go in there and really do some damage. I think that's real confidence that he has.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he can beat anybody in there, so. Especially Till, he's calling out. He'll walk through that.
Well,
dude.
Till already lost, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Till lost on Saturday.
But, I mean, everybody's calling out. It's like none of those people can touch him.
What happened? One of them guys, he wins the fight, and then he goes and fights another guy.
Yeah, that was he fucking
'Cause he
cut him
threw
open.
real
Dude,
punches.
Yeah, he cut him open.
Normally, it's just like pushing and shoving. They're like, hey, we won't get after it. But that guy.
It was during the interview, and the other dude was talking shit, and he fucking walked over and looks like they just scrapped him real quickly.
And then Ben Askren, not to miss an opportunity, goes, they've quarantined me upstairs. Apparently, whoever just won started a fight with somebody else, so he didn't have to fight me. Which is beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. I'm a big fan of Ben Askren.
Yeah.
I like the way he operates.
Yeah, he's going to be fun to watch. I don't know how many
2
years
years.
he's going to, if he goes 2, hopefully he'll squeeze a couple more out, but who knows. It sounds like he already has his life together, and that's the difference.
He in the same video where he was doing IG stories for the first time, I was watching him during my hangover. Nasty hangover, man. Tough. It's 4 beers, I think. Car bomb.
He'll do it.
Foxy was drinking them nowadays, though.
Foxy had himself.
I was drinking them. They were great. They were great. I loved them.
I'm fucking believing.
Hey.
It's a perfect porch pounder. It's
It
going to
is
fucking
fucking
crush
ice
the
cold
summer.
Saturday.
Sun's out, Natty's out.
A couple porch pounders.
That's what I said.
It's delightful.
Love a can.
Good summer beer.
Yeah.
But I was watching his IG story, hungover, and he said that his wrestling academy had 100 state champions or something.
Yeah.
I don't even know how it's possible. Is there even 100 state champions? I don't.
It's only for these
There's only 50 states.
How do I watch it?
Different
weight
weight
classes.
classes. A lot of weight
Yeah,
classes.
true.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm recounting that right, but his little academy is winning everything.
Yeah.
I thought he said 100, maybe in total. Like they
Yeah,
had,
since they've started.
years.
Yeah,
since
that
they've
makes sense.
started.
Including alumni.
Yeah. Anyways, good guy.
Yeah, and I tell you what, that guy, it's refreshing to see someone with that personality. You know what I mean? Because I don't think he's over the top with it. He's just straight to the
Very
point.
confident.
I'll call you out, tell you exactly what I'm going to do with you, and there's not a lot of color around it, and I fucking love it.
Yeah,
I
he's
think
just
it's old school.
He's just right at it. Mm-hmm. And he has the face of a guy that could beat you up.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What they call him, the curly-headed fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has an
He's wearing
awesome
the
shirt.
shirt. With his face as the U and fuck on the bottom. It was awesome.
I love that. He gets it. I don't know why Dana White is not pushed him enough.
He should embrace the fuck out
That's
of
what
it.
I'm saying. As a promoter, I feel like that's something that you should go for. Like if Vince McMahon had that guy in there, I would assume Vince McMahon would be like, let's get the curly-headed fuck.
Speaking of, are you allowed to talk about what's going on here tomorrow?
Oh, yeah, the Hardy
Yeah, that's what I was
Boys.
going to ask you about.
The Hardy Boys are coming by the office.
It's going to be crazy.
The Hardy Boys have been wrestling for, I think, 35 years.
A long time, dude.
Long time. Jeff Hardy, guy with the long hair, face paint, goes off the high things. Matt Hardy, his brother, incredible talker, does an elbow drop off the top rope. They've been wrestling for a long, long time.
This would have been incredible when I was 16, but you know what? Even better, we got him when I'm 30. Let's go.
They're coming through the office. We got some hilarious. Well, I don't know how they're going to end up. Conceptually, they feel like they're going to be hilarious. Conceptually hilarious things.
If somebody gets hurt, it's still funny.
Yep.
That's
what I think.
Yeah, I mean, it's all content.
Yep.
Somebody's jumping off the mezzanine tomorrow
Yeah.
for Jeff Hardy.
Yep.
Somebody is.
Somebody is.
Couple people might.
I think I have to do it. So if anybody else does it, it's like I didn't just send a test subject. I think that's.
I might do it if I lay Todd out down at the bottom.
Come off the mezzanine. Big shout out to the WWE though, wanting us to succeed. I think
Yeah, they're awesome.
That is
So
nice.
cool.
They're the best.
they really are.
Yeah,
They're so nice.
Yeah.
I don't get it. There has to be something. There has to be a gotcha.
I think it's just finally they're just the company that gets it.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
that could be it,
yeah.
couldn't it?
Seriously.
Well, that's refreshing.
I mean, they came up not the easy course. You know what I mean? He built that thing from scratch. He fucking gets it.
I texted Mr. H after he made his appearance on the show last week. I said, congrats on your first appearance on the Pat McAfee Show 2.0 and sent him the video. And he goes, did we break any records? I didn't answer. I didn't know how to respond. Yes. I didn't know how to respond. They're all so fucking nice, man. I don't get it. It's going to be fun. WrestleMania week's going to be a blast. We're so thankful for all of you. #NGang, #Endgame. Send us a picture or a GIF of... are we doing a bracket?
Oh, yeah. There's a public one if you just search #McAfee4MNF on ESPN.
FOR?
Yeah, FOR.
Okay, there we go. #Endgang, #Endgame. Send us a screenshot of you coming in enjoying our bracket tall contest.
Yep.
Can we tweet a link out?
Yes.
We'll tweet a link out
we'll
as
get a
well.
link out there.
Does the winner get anything?
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Something awesome.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
We'll give the winner something awesome.
Yep.
Do we know what that is yet? No.
That makes it even better.
But it'll be
awesome.
something awesome. Winner gets something awesome. And I think we're known for giving away awesome things.
There's going to be a lot of people in it.
Name one time we gave away something that wasn't awesome. That's what
I sent a ketchup bottle to that one kid.
awesome.
In my mind,
Hey, was it Heinz?
Yeah.
Oh,
pretty
okay.
awesome.
Hell of a bottle.
It's like an eighth filled. Notice I'm an optimist. I didn't say 7/8 empty.
Nope.
Correct.
Nope.
I said an eighth filled. That'll last you another month at least.
Oh, yeah.
I had a cheat weekend, food wise.
We all did.
Yeah.
I ordered an apple pie from Bob Evans DoorDash.
Wow.
Probably
Slice.
the first person ever to do it.
You were cheating.
A slice.
Oh, not the whole pie.
They gave me half a slice.
What?
They cut off the front half of it. I took a picture and tweeted it to Bob Evans and DoorDash and said, what happened
Come
here?
on.
The driver ate it, is what happened.
The lady seemed like a really nice lady. When she dropped it
That's 'cause
off.
she was-
Yeah, she's
that's
got
'cause
a
she was
sweet
half
tooth,
full and
too.
half
No biscuits. Hey, no biscuits either. Sam ordered biscuits. We got no biscuits.
That's
Sir, she was really happy, wasn't she?
Yeah, she was very nice. You know what? She did seem like she was happily and filled.
Like she was almost full.
And it did take a little bit to get there.
How do you mess up biscuits?
Yeah. How do
He
you
didn't mess them up. He just didn't come.
That's what I mean. Like, how do you let that fly?
Yeah, I got a fried chicken.
Okay.
It was just a big chicken nugget.
Yeah.
They gave me just a big chicken nugget. It was awesome. And as soon as I realized that it was just a big chicken nugget, everything changed. I went and got the hot sauce. I went the ketchup. I put it in there. Hands, by the way.
No bones.
So it's like a
No bone. It was a
country fried
home
chicken
style
without-
fried chicken.
Wow.
Something.
So it's like
just
a big chicken
nugget.
patty.
Like country fried chicken, but without like the gravy or whatever.
That sounds pretty fucking awesome.
Yeah, but it had like actual. It felt like nugget covering as opposed to like thick covering.
Yeah.
It was like literally like nugget covering.
That sounds amazing.
It was the mega nugget, two of them. Back
That's
to
a big
back.
piece of chicken parm.
It's exactly what it was. It's exactly what it was without the sauce on top. I was really just dipping it in kachot sauce, having a day. Then there was stuffing there. Love the stuffing.
Have yourself a day, my friend.
I went all in. I
Fuck
finished
you
up
on the pie, though.
half a pie.
That would have been nice.
And then I asked for vanilla ice cream. They put caramel on the vanilla ice cream.
What?
It's like, let me handle the caramel.
Yeah.
We're going to do apple pie all the mode.
Yeah.
You can't hate them for putting the caramel on. I mean, that is.
I do.
You do?
Oh, you can.
It's just a sweet on a sweet. I'm saying.
Well,
Yeah, but let me pour it.
Just
on
let
there.
me do it.
I'll decide how much.
You know what I mean?
and Where?
I mean, you're not the fucking caramel police.
I know Pat is.
I am.
No. I said that wrong.
Yeah, but he took.
You're not the caramel wizard.
They took. You know how much caramel I want on it.
I don't fucking know it all of caramel.
DoorDash has been in a bad spot though, man.
3 hours?
Twice. It happened twice for us. 3-hour delivery.
That's
Wow.
That's it.
Bullshit.
Sam ordered this rice and chicken from Mexican place. I always have one standard order from Mexican places: chicken quesadilla. That's it.
Can't mess it up.
No sour cream. Just give me chicken quesadilla, and I just want to eat 2 of them.
Hey, there is another delivery app that has invested in the small business.
No,
Postmates.
I know. I probably should.
good.
I don't think they come to my house though.
Oh, they do.
They don't come to my house.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I've checked.
That sucks.
Yeah. Because it's tough because DoorDash is going to fucking hell. I love that company. I didn't have to leave my house and I got everything coming to my house. Pizza Hut always came. But you get it. It was like Pizza Hut with everything. We'll just get delivered to the house. Applebee's, ribs, showing
I
up.
did it with Canova last night.
Exactly. It's incredible. This is
I
good.
had like a garbage bag of Taco Bell delivered Saturday night after drinking all
From
day.
Grubhub?
Yeah, yeah.
That's from that commercial.
Good move.
It was beautiful.
But DoorDash has gone to fucking hell. They need to clean it up.
Clean it up.
Clean that fucking shit.
Because you got people, you're holding people hostage.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah. Because I'm sitting there waiting for food because I'm hungry. And you tell me a time it's going to come. I understand if you're off by a little bit.
Yeah.
I understand that there's transaction situations. You can't be 3 hours off.
And you
Because
also-
what am I supposed to do?
And you
Starve?
You also order it when you're hungry. So by the
Yeah.
time you get there.
And I don't
It's a
want
whole
to tip the
different
guy
level.
up front. I don't want to tip the guy or girl
Hate
up
it.
front.
Yeah, I want to know how he's doing.
Uber Eats, you have the option to do that so you don't forget, but it won't go through until it does a confirmation. It says, hey, do you still want to give this driver $3?
Yeah,
and you have to hit it.
Because Sam does all that. So she has it just locked in, I think, on a tip, right?
Uh-huh.
I like to reward people that are good, though.
Exactly.
Yeah, maybe you deserve a little more.
Yes.
Maybe you deserve a little less. Who knows?
Whoa.
Yeah, by
I don't
the
know
way,
what you did. You
people
forgot my
thinking-
biscuits, so go fuck yourself.
and half the pie. But I don't check that at the door. They're already gone. They're already out the gate.
Yeah.
We have to set a 30-second code for them to punch in, too, every time.
Yeah.
Have
seems
full
like a lot.
conversation
What
with
a
them.
pain.
They got to call. My gate thing needs fixed, too. Guess what that means?
People
People
at
at
the
the
house.
house. Can't do it.
Open gate too.
Tanya, you just have to go away for like 2 months.
Oh, the street youths are going to come in.
Get you a penthouse.
Get that bowl. Protect you.
Miniature bucket bowl.
Yeah, you definitely put it in the front yard.
Does get a little
That's what
territorial.
I'm saying. You got all those workers coming in for the next 2 months. Hey
I gotta-
guys,
I gotta
F
give it-
around, you F with the bowl, you know what you get.
Horns.
Thank you.
You mess with the miniature bucking bull,
Tiny little
you
miniature
get the
horns.
miniature bucking horns. Yep. I ain't bucking around.
It's like walking,
I need to nipple that thing, too.
Fuck that.
I need to nipple that thing.
From when it's a baby, you mean?
Yeah, I want that thing to know
Yeah.
that it's dead.
Yeah.
Oh,
Good
yeah,
idea.
yeah.
Because me and that bucking bull need to be one
Tell
with
you what
each
we
other.
do too. We fasten you some sort of vest where the nipples pop out of your chest, out of the vest, so it thinks you're. It's
So
definitely.
it looks like you have udders.
Yes.
Yep, and I have a backpack on with all the milk.
Yeah, kind of like a camelback, and then
Yeah.
Yeah, and I lay down with it with my hands, like the cow hands, arms,
Yep.
and I just kind of let it go to town.
Yep.
now your mama.
That's me and my bucking bull.
That'd be nice.
Kids book.
There
Me
it
and
is.
my bucking bull.
At Tonto.
Tonto gets asked about often on the internet. He's still going strong, literally. That guy hasn't fucking budged.
Stoic.
He's lean a little bit.
It's because you got one shoe on. Happy Gilmore. Lake Tahoe, we're coming out there for the Pro-Am thing. Yep. I would recommend coming out and hanging out with us. I thought it was Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Turns out it's Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Correct.
Oh. All
I
right.
didn't even know the proper days. I was scheduling things with people to do stuff. I'm like, you come in on Wednesday, then you come in on Thursday. They're like, you got it, we're in. And then Foxy was like, we're going out to Lake Tahoe on Wednesday? I was like, yeah. He was like, it doesn't start till Friday. I was like, I think you're wrong. And then I think Gorman even got in. I was like, Pro-Ams are always on Wednesday. And they're like, no, the whole weekend is a Pro-Am.
Yeah, this one's for TV
Oh,
rights.
that makes sense. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, son of a bitch.
Nationally televised audience.
Big win would be nice.
Big win.
Showtime.
Showtime.
Hey, weather's getting
it.
good. I'm thinking about playing this Saturday if you want to get some warm-ups in.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Where are you playing at?
I don't know. Where do you want to play?
Saturday?
Yeah, it's supposed to be decent weather.
58 and sunny.
You go to my country club if you want.
You grew up on Country Club too.
No,
we knew
just
you were a
have-
fucking billionaire. You let it slip out.
Oh no.
Zito.
Let's edit that.
Edit it out. What, that little 9-hole thing, the shithole you guys
Oh, the Douglas whoa, that shithole.
It's a shit.
comparable to the pub.
Yeah, it's a pub of golf.
It's
No
on par
standards.
with the pub.
I love
No
those
standards.
types of courses, by the way.
They are
Those are the best places to go.
For sure.
yeah.
No rules.
No expectations.
Nope. Exactly.
You can go in jorts, no sleeve. Yeah,
You can
do a
barter
whole-
your price to golf.
I was
there,
gonna
too.
say Zeke bought like 10 shirts from the gift shop or from the pro shop before we played. When we were there,
You're fucking haggling with this tiny little golf shop.
He gave it to me for like $40 for like 5 shirts.
They're barely surviving. You're just what? You're robbing them of their food too?
I did eat a couple hot dogs.
I got hot dogs backer.
How about this? I got 3 for $1. You probably haven't made $1 in years. Let me go ahead and rob you even more. I grew up as a billionaire. I might come play.
All right, nice.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out.
I'll go Saturday morning though.
Yeah, that's what we're thinking.
Before
all
the
the
game
games.
starts. Yeah.
You guys are gonna get up and go.
Like 10 a.m., be done at noon.
Hey, by the way, incredible job staying sober. This
Everyone
Hey,
was
it was
very.
easy.
Everyone. Eric was very proud of you. She wanted me to tell you.
Yeah, it was a good time. I didn't spill more drinks than when I usually am drunk, though, which was curious.
Bro, how about that
Really?
guy that came up and shook my hand as soon as I got there? I shake his hand and his whole body was locked up. So he spilled his beer in his other hand. And he was so hammered drunk. And he just expected a beer from me for the rest of the night. So I was like, Connor, go buy this guy fucking 2 beers so he'll leave me the fuck alone. It was unbelievable. This fucking guy. Do you remember this?
Oh, you shook the shit out of his hand. And just shaking like he was on some sort of vibrating machine. He was
did it.
shaking like he
He's
was
all
on
over
one.
the place.
Yeah.
And his beer spilled. And I was like, oh, man, I'm so sorry that happened. He was like, yeah. And he was already gone at this point.
Yeah. And then you told me, you were like, all right, hey, why don't you go get this, like, go get 2 beers for us? Because I thought you guys were going to, have a little chug off.
Yeah.
I get back, the guy's gone. I'm like, Pat, I got these 2 beers. You go, yeah, go give them to that guy so he leaves us the fuck alone. Sounds good.
He was a nice guy, I'm sure, very intoxicated. And man, some people, I appreciate everybody who comes and says what's up. I enjoy talking to people. But there's some people that they're always the ones too that act like they don't know who I am. Right? Oh, I don't even know who you are. I'm sorry. Well, I don't know who the fuck you are either, man. So why are you stopping to talk to me then? I'm on my way to the pisser right now. And then they're always the ones that kind of just loom. They're just kind of always looming. They're always looming. And it's like, yo, man, what's going on? What are we doing? Take a picture, a shot? What do you want to do? Let's have a good time. What? I'm just here. Okay. Seems like you've just been... I'll get out of here. I do love meeting people, though. I enjoy chatting with folks. Good people. Good people.
A lot of good people out on
Yeah.
A lot of good people out. Thank you, everybody, for wearing their stuff. Zito's putting together a thank you tribute video. So if you haven't posted your photos to the internet from St. Patrick's Day, please do it. Over 200 and something, you said?
Oh, yeah, it was a lot.
Let's go. You guys are awesome. So thankful for all of you. Hashtag Endgang. Hashtag Endgame. Send us a picture of you entering the bracket. Good luck, though. I already filled mine out. Here we go. Iowa's beating Cincinnati.
Yep.
Wow.
Kentucky's beating Seton Hall in the second round.
Wow.
Houston's beating Ohio State strictly because Dakich's kid coaches at Ohio State and said Houston will beat Ohio State. So if Dakich says that, I'm assuming he knows something. Smart. And then I haven't filled out the rest, but you just know
it.
Duke's a winner. I'm betting on Zion unless he has a shoe malfunction.
I don't
Never know.
UNC looks
Could
good.
happen.
He switched to the Kyrie, so he's good.
Did you see Nike flew to China to make those special for him?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course they did. Of course they let everyone know.
He's going to get $1 billion from Nike.
Yeah.
$1 billion. I was wrong about that snowboarding lady. Strictly because her dad chose for me to be wrong.
Correct.
Right?
He heard about it.
Like what, in 2 years from now, whenever the next winter...
She'll be back.
She'll be back on top of the world. Probably that's when they'll do the big push.
Yeah.
The dad was
She's
like,
older now.
Yeah, the dad was like, I want her to have a high school. Which is, by the way,
I get it, but
good parenting.
Yeah.
Kris Jenner right there is hitting a home run with the opportunity, but create a billionaire. I don't know if that's better than like having another year of her childhood.
Yeah. What if she blows a knee in training?
She won't, Todd.
Todd,
Jesus.
come on.
Todd.
Jesus.
Todd.
You got to act now. You can't just hope for the future.
I understand where the dad was coming from. So I was wrong about that. Her becoming a 100 millionaire overnight. I was wrong about that because she was the biggest story of the Olympics at the time. She's very marketable. She already had a deal. I assumed that would happen. She was on Nike's email the next morning. I was like, here comes $100 million. I was wrong about that. But Zion, I think it's going to be $1 billion.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a $1 billion deal.
You'll hear no arguments from me.
He's going to sign, too. He's probably a lefty. Probably sign that thing.
Yep.
It's probably just a big Z, right?
Yeah, has to be.
Just a big Z.
Like Zorro.
Like Zorro. Fucking with a pen. Just sign that thing for $1
I wanted
billion.
to ask him because he's seen him in person. Like, is he going to get better when he loses his baby fat too? Like,
When LeBron got skinnier, everybody said he got better.
Yep, he did.
Granted, he's not good right
like
now.
he's going to be able to jump higher. When
Yeah, I assume he'll get better.
Weight, right, is
Yeah.
the thing that determines how high you get. Like for me, if I'm under 220, I can dunk. If I'm over 220, I can't. Right now, I'm 27 pounds over that. There ain't no shot of me getting a ball down here. You get me to 219, though, I'm yamming on that fucking thing. I would assume Zion loses 20 pounds. He might jump on top of the rim.
He might grow an inch or two. You don't know at his age.
right.
Could happen. It does happen.
What if he fuck?
6'10".
Jesus.
Good for the world getting to watch this kid. Yeah. And all you ladies trying to sell him out.
Oh, my God. The disrespect.
He's just a single guy, man. He's a single superstar trying to live.
he's got a big room.
In college.
Got a big bed.
He's got a big bedroom.
But he doesn't have $1 billion where he can just have these ladies come to
Right.
his house. He's a college student. Every college student.
Tell you
is-
what, he snaps me, I'm going.
that's what I'm saying. Hey, you get your ass out there
I'll be over
and you
in a
get that
second.
fucking water, Diggs.
Yeah, I'm going to get that water.
Yeah, Diggs will get that water. I don't like that everybody's selling him out, though.
Yeah.
He's going to trust nobody for the rest of his life.
Oh, she wanted her 10 minutes or whatever.
But did she even get it? I don't think anybody even knows who she is.
Oh, yeah.
Nope.
I don't like that, though.
I don't either.
I don't like that. Let
What happens?
Zion live, man.
What happens in college?
Stays in college.
He's everybody that he's liked by everybody though. So what's he supposed to do? Is he supposed to not what's he supposed to do? Just talk to people in person? Like you can't
Right.
text anybody, can't Snapchat anybody,
Can't FaceTime.
can't FaceTime with anybody.
Nope.
So what can he do? Zion can't do anything. Wait, you know what he's going to do?
Back pages.
Robert Kraft.
Yep. That's right. That's exactly right.
That's why Bob did it.
This is what happens, and we're going to judge him for it. We
No
will.
way.
Is he the most
I won't.
beloved Duke player in the history of Duke basketball?
I think so.
When I said that to Dakich, I meant it. I feel like Duke is a team that everybody hates
For
on
sure.
a regular
1000%.
basis. There was my roommate's wife now. She's a diehard Duke fan coming into college, and they were together in college. And man, the amount of hate she received just for being a fan of Duke was
correct.
next
Yeah.
level. And I didn't know anything about really college basketball and environments or anything like that. But she received hate just for being a fan of the team. I'm like, man, this team's very hateable. And then you start watching, it's like, oh, I get it. It's just a bunch of little prick kids.
Yeah.
That's how they get painted, you know what I mean? But they're very good. Zion, though, complete 180 of that.
Different.
If you watch him play, it's hard to hate him.
Yeah.
Yeah, because his defensive prowess is so damn
Everything.
good, too.
Everything.
That's the thing that Dakich likes about him is that he plays defense.
He tries.
How about Coach Cal saying that he doesn't teach defense until the season
I
starts?
loved that.
He said it's hard because they get worn out whenever they do defense. So he doesn't start it until the season starts. So at the beginning of the year, they're not as good as they are at the end of the year because when their defense gets better, they get more confident on the other end of the court because they're not just getting smoked. So everything starts coming together. That's why Calipari's teams always peak at the right time. That's a pretty genius thought.
I like
I
that
would
a
have
lot
never
'cause
thought about that before, but that makes so
that
much
just
sense.
shows him like being able to change with the times too, and that's why his teams have always been good.
Win
forever.
another title.
I think he also just says shit to say shit because he
think so,
knows
too.
it sounds
That's
good.
a smart idea, though.
It
But if he
is.
didn't
Yeah.
do that, he'd get called out by previous players. And be like, nah, that's a fucking lie.
True.
That's true.
Did you
Somebody
see
would call
him?
him out.
You see him with his jerseys too.
Oh, yeah.
Good
so
flags.
funny. Yeah,
Oh.
perfect.
I enjoyed that whole conversation where he took a shot at Seth Green a little bit. Greenberg.
Greenberg.
Greenberg. Yeah.
Took a shot at him. I like Calipari in that interview.
Well, Pittsburgh guy. So
Is he really? He's Italian. Izzo, is Izzo also Italian?
Izzo is Italian. Yeah.
I think so.
All these fucking Italians. They're
Patino.
everywhere. Who?
Oh, yeah.
Patino.
Whoa.
His kid,
Yeah, his kid, Minnesota.
Oh, that's a matchup too.
Minnesota Louisville.
they did that on purpose.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they also confused Michigan State and Michigan. Yeah, that's tough. for
Don't know
Michigan
how it
State.
happens. Don't know.
You guys
how it
do good and
happens.
somehow get fucked.
Lose one of our good players because of it.
Yep.
Hey,
he's out.
Okay, I wrote about that.
Yep.
That was awesome.
It was really cool.
I'm a big fan of that. I don't want to say like I got teary-eyed watching it, but it made me think back to like the tightness of like my college locker room.
Yeah.
It's like, man, that was real. That felt like real. That was a white guy too, right? Which is, I would say an anomaly in a lot of basketball situations.
For sure.
But watching his teammates like cry for him, it was like that was so cool. That was a beautiful moment. And I've said it before. A locker room is this melting pot of humans. You got kids who've been growing up around millionaires their entire life, and then you got kids from Compton playing in the same space for the same thing, going to each other's parties and hanging out with each other. It's a beautiful thing watching a locker room come together, man. It really is, because it's something that the world just like kind of, I don't want to say divide and conquer is a real thing for a lot of people, but it does feel like the world is like that a lot. And in a locker room, it's just completely different. It's completely different. It's like we're all in this together. Let's keep it moving. That was a cool thing. But I did get sad for your guy.
Very sad.
He got banged up before. He was injured before.
Yeah, he was injured like all year, and then he had just gotten back, and then that happened.
So that's why it was a heartbreaking situation.
Yeah, and you just heard his screams. You could
Yeah,
hear
that was
that.
bad.
It's
Yeah.
terrible.
What was it? Probably a dislocated ankle or?
I don't know, actually. I haven't even seen, but it had to be something like that.
Yeah,
I didn't watch the replay. I don't watch that shit.
No,
Makes
me neither.
gr-
They played it though. It's like, come on.
They
man.
were-
They
Come
played.
on,
They
let
played
the
it like
internet do
10
that.
times
4
right after
times.
it.
Hey, let the fucking internet do that.
It was cool though. He came back out during the game and was cheering him on and stuff. They kept showing him.
Yep.
I like this team.
Hey, I liked Izzo though, man.
Oh, yeah.
I told Foxy that this morning. Whenever they were getting on a little run and it was defensive time, he did like this huge hammer thing. It was like on the sideline, like screaming. I was like, oh, this is why everybody loves this guy. I was a big fan of him.
His coat's flying everywhere.
I told Evan earlier the reason why Michigan State did get the last 2 seed was definitely because of Larry.
Because the NCAA was like this. Come on, made us look
Oh, yeah,
terrible.
we're
You
going
really
to
had
give
to say
him Duke.
that.
Look at that. Still coming back to get you.
Hey, I said it to Dakich, all
And you're
right?
still paying that school.
Big Ten hasn't won since 2000. Guess who it was? Michigan State.
Of course. Yeah.
Something's gotta give.
Oh, is that why you asked that question? Just for him
Well,
to say
I
it?
just wanted to see if he would know. But yeah, I also, that's pretty crazy. It's been 19 years and Big Ten hasn't won it.
It's tough.
It is tough.
All right, show's over. See you guys. Have a good one. Tweet us your brackets. Tweet us that you're in. Something awesome to the winner. Unless, probably, all right, second place too. Because
All
if
right,
I
there we
win,
go.
I want somebody else to win. You know what I mean?
Good point. Good point.
If Todd wins, I would like somebody else to win.
Yeah.
Todd just reads that Action Network and knows everything that's going on.
Yeah. I'm probably going to win. I'll be honest. I think if you look at my bracket, it's a done deal.
Todd, I do believe you've become a bit of a gambling aficionado since, you know why? I thought about this. So cops, you got to go through so much paperwork and bullshit. Like you have to read through it all. Just like Florio with the lawyers. Like the lawyers have to read through stuff. You have to read through a bunch of stuff. So the Action Network, you just look at it as if you're investigating a crime, which is what sports gambling is.
Yeah.
And you've just been looking into it all. And I feel like you know more than most people do.
I am determining who has the most probable cause to cover their bet, to cover that spread. And yeah, that's a good way to put it. Because hey, if 51%, if I'm 51% convinced, good enough. I'm making the arrest right now.
I'll see you in court.
I'm a little more sure than I'm not sure. So, boom.
All right. You guys have an incredible day. Heartland Radio 2.0 tomorrow, and we're back on Thursday. Big time guest. Oh, question. Celebrity guest.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Chat with Pat. Yikes. Okay, so A_damn_mess asks.
Damn mess.
So I think his name's Adam Messenger, maybe?
Oh.
Like Adam Messy or something.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Clever
Yeah.
name for him, though.
Yeah.
Clever. Photo is him wearing a button down, open, handsome kid. Looks like he's in college, has a good time.
Okay.
Why did Ballard spend 10 of $100 million in cap just to stare at the other 90 and sign no one? ... Wow. So I screenshotted that, sent it to Chris Ballard. I said, guy asked this question for the podcast. Any words of response? Took a little bit. Didn't know if he was going to do that.
Hey, that's nice of you, by the way, though. To do that, you didn't have to reach out to him and go.
Hey, let's
straight
go right to the horse's
Yeah.
mouth.
Yeah. Give him a chance.
Right to the horse's mouth.
The bucking bull's mouth.
There it is.
He responds, cash, not cap, is what counts. And I said, let's go, as if it was a flex. Then we all talked about it, and none of us really understood what that was.
No idea.
None of us really knew what that was. So then he was going to then he followed up and said, Andrew Luck, Nelson, Leonard, Moore, Costanzo, Ryan Kelly, Smith, Mack, Doyle, Ebron. Those are all players you want to see at the Colts for a long time. So you better be planning for them.
Smart.
What he's saying is we are building from within.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
We are rewarding our own players. So just because we're not on a spending frenzy in the free agent franticness, we're building a monster. For real this time.
I don't like that as a Steeler fan.
You don't like that
Yeah,
it's
you
going to be
shouldn't
like
like
a
it.
consistent team?
Correct. I don't like that he didn't just go out and blow all the money on someone who's not going to work out.
I can understand why you would.
Breaking news, though. Chris Ballard plans to re-sign all those guys. All of them.
I'm pissed he didn't pay Trent Richardson.
Good news for all those players. I'm sure you're listening, but the Ballard would like to reward you.
He likes you. He likes what you're doing.
He likes what you're doing. Keep it up. Keep it up, boys. And that was Chat with Pat, new segment. Another new segment we did today was Internet Beef. We got to the bottom of it too, didn't we?
Yeah.
The Florio Sherman.
A
The next
little
one.
digging.
The next one is Conseco A-Rod. Kai Schmidt is on the horn with Conseco's manager. We are.
That could be a 6-hour conversation.
I want to let you know, I am willing to invest in this one, and Ty knows that. We have a budget. We'll see if Jose Canseco's people can come down to it. But I would like to hear about his ex-wife having sex with A-Rod. Like Jose Canseco's been tweeting a bunch of slanderous stuff about him. I would like to hear.
Is he just snitching because he's finished?
Jose Canseco just snitching because he finished.
You could hire him to be on your softball team, and you could just like trap him.
He offered to teach friend of the show, Tim Tebow, how to hit. On his Twitter just about a week ago. He was hitting 500-foot bombs, he said, in his last softball tourney. Put up a couple videos of that. I like to see him go against Coach Diggs in a big dog. I don't know. We're trying to get Canseco, and that'll be another edition of Internet Beef. All right, you guys have a great day. Cheers. Guy Schmidt, hit the music.